Atlanta Hawks, Mizuno, Atlanta Braves, Subway, Sports Medicine South, Atlanta Track Club, NFHS Network, Regions Bank, Max Preps, GoFan, and Georgia Public Broadcasting. And with that out of the way, we're going to move into our commentary about tonight's game. The Darlington Tigers visiting here tonight are 7-4, went 2-2 in Region 7A Private that earned them an opportunity to play in the playoffs. And from 8A Private, it's Prince Avenue Christian. The Wolverines went 9-1 this season. The only game that they lost, Ian, this year was a nationally televised game on ESPN against Rabun County, and it was a battle of the top two quarterbacks in the country, Brock Vandergriff here at Prince Avenue Christian, and of course Gunnar Stockton over at Rabun County. So that was something that made the headlines early in the season. So I'm pretty sure everybody listening at home doesn't need us to necessarily tell them everything about Brock Vandergriff. I'm sure they probably already know.
Yeah, excellent dual threat passer. Got a big arm. Can make plays with his legs. Darlington's they have not faced a quarterback with this kind of skill set this season, so that's a big challenge for this Tigers defense.
And earlier this weekend, it was announced that he was a finalist for the National Quarterback of the Year award, and guys that have won that in recent years, Trevor Lawrence, Kyler Murray, Bryce Young from Alabama, a while back Tim Couch. And so just to be named a finalist for that award, whether or not he gets it, I think it speaks for itself what kind of talent this young man is.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, just a multifaceted talent, and it's going to be fun to watch him play tonight, and maybe the Tigers can give him a little bit of trouble.
There is a good chance of that, I think. They're going to have a great game plan, and these kids are fired up and ready. They're focused. You heard Coach Eighth, if you're listening on the radio broadcast, talk about the focus of this team and how how fired up they are right now to have an opportunity to play in a game like this, and they certainly don't back down for a challenge. And so looking forward to seeing what the Tigers can do tonight. Now, just to kind of describe our situation, we have an interesting press box tonight and weather situation here tonight. We could not be in the press box. It's pretty full on the other side, so we have a tent set up. We're outside. It is very windy. I'm sure you can hear that over our microphones. Not a lot we can do about that. It's pretty chilly. It's been raining pretty much all afternoon, but one positive is, I guess about 15, 20 minutes ago, the rain kind of slacked off. It doesn't look like it's raining at all right now.
The rain stopped, and those big gusts of wind we were dealing with in the pregame have gone away for now. It's just a steady breeze that we're having to deal with some light gusts.
Indeed. Well, let's continue talking about this matchup. Darlington comes into this football game after picking up a really exciting win last week. And one of the things that was great for the Tigers last week, they were able to get an early lead. They led that football game from wire to wire. Defense forced a 3-and-out to start the game. They set the tone running the football. Harrison Allen had a game in which he rushed for over 170 yards, scored a touchdown, and you also had a lot of other guys contributing in that win, including a young offensive line. So it was just a great team effort last week.
Yeah, let's really point out those young guys on the offensive line. They did a great job filling in for guys like Bert Schrimsher and Luke Lewis. Got good push up front. That establishing of the run game early was the difference, I think, in the game, because one thing we haven't seen Darlington do a lot is hit the big plays downfield in the passing game. They were able to do that. Patrick Shelley to Thomas Speed a couple of times for some big plays. Take the top off the defense. That hasn't been the specialty of this Darlington offense, but because they had to stack the box to take Harrison Allen away, they were able to have some success downfield.
And Ian, speaking of Thomas Speed, you mentioned he caught a touchdown pass in the game, but he also intercepted a pass that would help the Darlington Tigers secure that win. So, again, it was just a great team effort. And obviously, you want to be playing your best football at the end of the season. And I certainly think you can make a very, very solid argument that the Darlington Tigers are playing their best football right now. So it's going to be really interesting to see what this football game looks like. Obviously, every round you go through the playoffs, the stakes get higher, the competition gets tougher. But again, these kids, they want a challenge, and there's no question they'll get one here tonight at Bogart, Georgia.
Yeah, they will. And Matt, we're over here in the visiting stands, and it's not a lovely night outside. But the Darlington faithful has traveled well tonight. I am impressed with the turnout. They're here to support their Tigers, and we're going to see what happens in just a few minutes.
Yes, we are, and we're going to keep it right here up until kickoff because we are about 4 minutes away. The captains are currently entering the field for both teams, and so we'll relay that to you here in just a moment. And rosters and things of that nature may be a little bit of a challenge tonight in terms of this wind, so we just got to make sure we don't lose them in a large gust. But for your Darlington Tigers, Davis Watson will be one of the captains, almost Thomas Speed, Tyler Watkins, and then we have a young man that is not in uniform that's walking out on the field with the Tigers right now. I did not catch who that was. It obviously doesn't have a number. He hasn't turned around. But for the Prince Avenue Christian, Brock Vandergriff is, of course, going to be one of their captains. Number 9, Andrew Riddlings, coming out to the middle of the field. We'll try to catch his number in a couple of moments. I'm screened right now by Davis Watson. But you're also going to have Philip Kelly and then the man at the center of the field, and we're about to have the coin toss. So we're going to know who's going to kick off, who's going to receive, and all that good stuff here in just a couple of moments, Ian.
And Matt, it's good to see something. There's an honorary captain out there. I wish we could get his number and know the story behind that.
Absolutely. And perhaps maybe we can get a little bit of help over here. But nonetheless, interesting night for football. I would like to say that it's optimal weather, but it certainly is not. It's very windy, a little bit chilly out here tonight, but we're going to have a good time regardless.
And Matt, one thing to watch here is the rain has stopped, but we had a steady rain from about 3:30 until right around 6:30. So 3 hours of hard rain. The field is saturated. This is the first natural turf game of the season for the Darlington Tigers, so we're going to see if that affects them at all playing on this natural turf.
All right, the Darlington Tigers, I believe, are going to kick off this football game, so we're going to get a look at this Prince Avenue Christian offense. By the way, the young man that was at the middle of the field for Prince Avenue Christian, well, that was Davis Ridings. And we are just about set to have some football here tonight in Bogart, Georgia. And again, if you're just tuning in and you're wondering, where is Bogart, Georgia? Well, Bogart, Georgia is right outside of Athens. Probably about a 15, 20-minute drive.
Absolutely, not too far. We're staying in downtown tonight, so yeah, it took us about 20 minutes to get here from the heart of downtown.
That's right, and of course it was raining like crazy when we were coming over here. It was kind of an adventure getting down here, but on the way here from Rome, it wasn't too bad. I mean, we had rain about halfway, and then we had a little bit of luck and had not clear skies, but dry roads for a good portion of that drive. I know you were happy about that since you were manning the wheel.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was going to be wet the whole way, but we did get a little break there, and the rain has stopped just in time for this ball game, and that's certainly a big advantage here for both these teams.
Coaching matchup tonight, Tommy Atha in his 19th season as head coach for Darlington, 157 wins and 62 losses for a 71% win percentage. For the Prince Avenue Christian Wolverines, well, that's Greg Vandergriff, who took over the Prince Avenue Christian program in 2016, was a head coach at Kell for one season in 2003, and yes, he is the father of quarterback Brock Vandergriff, and he was also Woodward Academy defensive coordinator for 10 years. And folks, they have got Enter Sandman fired up, Metallica on the PA. They got fireworks going off here, literally, and it looks like everybody's ready for a football game. Darlington has traveled well for this football game. I kind of wondered what that would look like because the weather is not optimal to bring out a crowd, but these folks want to watch their football team play tonight, and they showed up and certainly should be proud of the turnout to watch these kids play after all the hard work.
And one of the things that stands out here, Matt, from Coach Atha's pregame commentary is that this is a band of brothers, man. They really love playing together, and every game at this point, once you get to the playoffs, every game could be your last. So I expect a great effort from Darlington. They're going to start with the football.
They are. I misspoke earlier. Bryson Franklin's got it teed up, and he's about to kick it off here for the Wolverines. Wolverines are, of course, the navy blue and gold. Their uniforms look almost identical to the Michigan Wolverines. Darlington's in their white uniforms with purple numerals and, of course, letters. And it looks like it has a black outline around the numbers and letters. But anyway, there's the kickoff. It's at the far side of the field, working from right to left. Bringing it out is going to be Luke McDermott. He's got some room up the middle of the field. He'll be dropped at about the 29-yard line, so pretty good return and good field position.
I mean, these guys should know better than to kick it to Luke, man. He makes plays when the ball's in his hand. Nice return. Will set up Darlington at right at their own 30-yard line to start their first drive.
So we're just underway from Bogart, Georgia. Darlington has the football to start this game. And again, they're going to be working from right to left, playing against the Wolverines tonight on their home field. And certainly Prince Avenue Christian is the favored team with the season that they've had, but Darlington may have something to say about it. 2 wide receivers on the far side. Actually, a couple of men are going to go in motion, and now we're going to have them bunched up here on the near side, working right to left. They're going to hand it off on the first play. Good block for Harrison Allen. He's got a first down and then some. Stiff arm at the end of the play. Gets out across the 45, and he's got quite a bit of mud on his jersey as he went down here on the sideline.
And we talked about it being the first game on natural turf, and Harrison Allen got a paint job there after taking the rock for 14 yards at a first down.
Good start. They're going hurry up. 2 wide receivers on the far side, 1 on the near. Shelley's got him in the gun. First down for the Tigers. Big play there on first down, running the ball with Harrison Allen. We talked about it in the pregame. Had 171 yards last week and scored a touchdown. He was Davis Ridings. One of the linebackers came in and grabbed him.
And these crisp white jerseys, it took 3 plays, and they're nice and muddy out there. It's going to be a slobber knocker as Darlington is set up with a 3rd and 8 at their own 45-yard line.
So 3rd down play for the Tigers. They look off to the sidelines for the signs, and they got 2 wide receivers on the far side, a couple here stacked up on the near. And here comes the snap to Shelley. He drops back looking to throw on 3rd down, puts the ball in the air, and it's out of the reach of the intended receiver, who was Gabe Simpkins. That brings up 4th down.
Yeah, some pressure coming off the edge from number 58. That was Jackson Lord of the Wolverines, and Shelley had to fire a little bit early, couldn't get on the same page there with Simpkins, missed him wide, and Darlington's going to have to punt.
So Brinson Sumner on to punt the ball, and of course, he has been a major weapon for this Darlington football team, looking to flip the field here. Imagine the ball's coming his way quite a bit tonight. But Brock has them lined up in a shotgun, empty backfield. A lot of wide receivers out there. Man goes in motion. They're going to run a sweep on the first play towards the far side, cuts in, and is able to get a nice chunk of yards. And I believe that was number 6, Landon Owens, unless I'm badly mistaken.
Yeah, it looked like a gain of 7 there, and it was. It was number 6 that had the call there. And that was Landon Owens coming off of the edge on the jet sweep. And we've got a flag. And it's an illegal shift. Yeah, so that'll come back. Boy, Darlington could use some of this throughout the night if Prince Avenue Christian can make some mistakes and Darlington can get this running game established, trying to take the air out of the ball and keep this offense off the field. That is the recipe for success for the Darlington Tigers.
9:35 left here, first quarter. We're scoreless. Prince Avenue Christian getting ready for 1st down and 15 with the ball on the 25 after the penalty. Empty backfield for Brock Vandergrift, their quarterback, working left to right on your radio dial. And here comes the snap. He drops back, looking to throw a dart. He's able to connect with his wide receiver, Philip Kelly. He's hauled out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. So that is going to move the chains here, I believe, no, he might be a little bit short, actually. He went out of bounds a little sooner than I thought he did.
Picked up about 12 yards there. Tyler Watkins came on the blitz off the edge there, and Vandergrift found his receiver wide open. Good job recognizing the pressure and getting that out of his hands quickly.
All right, Vandergrift's going to line him up with a couple of wide receivers on each side. Now he's got a man in the backfield. That's going to be Landon Owens. Here comes the snap. They're going to give to Owens, who tries to run it up the middle and try to get the extra few yards. I think he's going to be short, Ian.
He is. He is going to set up a 3rd and 1. Kind of a generous spot there. They need to get to the 40, so he is going to be short. 3rd and a yard, and they're gonna hurry up to the line and see if they can get this. Vandergrift's such a big quarterback. I wouldn't be surprised to see him keep this, but he's in the shotgun, so we'll see what they go with.
Here comes the snap to Vandergrift. Flank to his left is Owens. Man goes in motion. They're going to fake to the motion man. Vandergrift runs. Davis Watson in and stuffs him to the ground. He's going to be short.
And that time Vandergrift decided to use that rather large frame to get the first down. It's only 4th and 1. I don't see the punt team trotting out. They're going to roll the dice, Matt, early in this ball game on their own side of the field. That shows some real confidence in this offense. It's 4th and 1.
Well, let's see if the Tigers can make them pay for the decision. Shotgun formation, 3 wide on the far side, tucked in close to the formation. Here comes 4th and 1. The snap is in Vandergrift's hands. A quick pitch to the left to Owens, and he is stopped short of the first down. They fail to convert on 4th and 1. The Tigers are going to get the ball with great field position.
And I'm going to catch who made the tackle there. They went with a pitch on that play, and it was Patrick Shelley, and Luke McDermott cleaned it up for a huge 4th down stop to start this ball game for the Tigers. That's just the kind of big momentum-shifting play that they need. We talked about how it needed to be a fast start. Darlington needed some things to go their way early. What a huge stop. The offense takes over with great field position here with 7:57 left in the first quarter. They have it at the 37-yard line of Prince Avenue Christian.
So the Darlington Tigers get a big 4th down stop, get the ball back, and both teams do not score on their first possession. Let's see what the Tigers can do with great field position. 2 wide receivers near side. Shotgun formation. Allen in the backfield. The give to Allen. Dives forward. Great effort there by Allen. Gets a little bit of push and perhaps 3 or 4 yards on first down. We'll see where they spot it.
Depending on where they spot that, I think it was about 3.5 yards there, Matt. 2nd and 6 at the 34.
So the Tigers will get ready to line up. They're going to send Simpkins and Speed here to the near side. And we'll also have Harrison Allen in the backfield. I cannot see much of what's happening on the far side, to be honest with you. It looks like everybody's going to be in tight on that side. But the Tigers will get lined up. Shelley gets the snap a little high, pulls it down, hands it off. Allen's off to the right side of the formation, maybe picks up 2 or 3 yards, setting up and 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, 3rd and manageable here, and I think if you get close to a 4th and 1 here with the conditions being as wet and sloppy as they are, this is a long one, certainly something Brinson Sumner could hit, but wouldn't be surprised if this is 2-down territory here.
So Shelley is looking off the sidelines. You're going to have Bethel and Speed here on the near side as wide receivers. Allen is still in for this package, as well as Darius Smith, who's lined up at that sniffer position. We're down to 6:43 left here first quarter. We're scoreless. 3rd down and 4 here for the Tigers. Started this possession on the Prince Avenue Christian side of the field. Right now they got a 31 handoff to Allen. He's tripped up, stays up, keeps the wheels turning, and maybe got a yard at the most there. He's going to be short of the first down. It's going to bring up 4th and short.
Yeah, really an amazing play there by Allen just to get loose and get some positive yards there. And that's going to set up a 4th and 3 at the 31. And you know, I like the aggressiveness here. Looks like Darlington's going to roll the dice. Coach Atha is looking to the officials for some clarification.
Windy night here in Bogart, Georgia. Of course, if you're listening or watching, we don't have to tell you that. You can hear it all over our mics. We don't even have the crowd mic turned on because I figure you get enough wind from our microphones, figuratively and in reality.
Matt, I don't know what's going on here. It must have been a flag on the field because they're backing Darlington up here. I did not see the signal, some kind of procedure, illegal shift, something of that nature, because it was a 5-yard penalty, and we will have 3rd and 9 from the 36-yard line.
Darius Smith comes off the field. Tyler Watkins is on. Now you're going to have 3 wide on the near side, 1 on the far side. Shotgun formation with Allen in the backfield.
It's really tough for us to see what happens on that far side of the field from our angle. So it'll all depend on the spot.
And we got the fans riled up about something here on the Darlington side. They saw something that they don't believe the officials did, huh?
And interestingly, this spot is well short.
Wow. 5:51 left first quarter. Nope, they're moving the chains.
Yeah, we've got a personal foul. So a huge penalty. And that's going to set them up with first down at the 15-yard line, Matt. Not sure what the call was there, but a personal foul.
Darius Smith runs back onto the field, coming back off Tyler Watkins. So the Tigers get lined up now in there in the red zone, 1st and 10. This is a huge opportunity for the Tigers after Prince Avenue Christian turned it over on downs on their first drive of the football game and gave the Tigers excellent field position already on the Wolverine side of the field when this drive started. So shotgun formation, man goes in motion, The defense shifts around last second. We're going to see another flag come in.
Yeah, that one's going to go on Darlington. About 3 or 4 guys moved at the same time there, so they're going to back up 5 yards after a big penalty. Benefited Darlington. They shoot themselves in the foot a little bit there, and they'll back up to the 20 where they'll set up for 1st and 15.
Well, one thing that's exciting, Ian, at halftime, we're going to be able to give you guys a lot of scores from other teams around Northwest Georgia because we had a lot of teams that won and are still in the hunt this week.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't had a chance to fetch my phone from my frozen pocket, but yeah, there's a lot of action going on. We'll keep you guys posted as soon as we get a chance to take a look.
All right, the Tigers are lined up here with 1st and 15 with the ball now on the 20. Shelley takes the snap. He rolls out to his right. He's going to run the football, cuts upfield just a little bit, and got a few of those yards back. So let's see where they spot it again. Our angle's really tough.
It is.
Where we are. But
it was a high snap there. Kind of looked like a busted play. I think it was a design quarterback run, but the snap threw the rhythm of that play off, and Shelley was not able to get anything on that play. Lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The wind is rocking and rolling, as you can hear right now. Really gusty here tonight in Bogart, Georgia. Shotgun formation, 2 wide on each side of the formation, working right to left, ball at the 20. 2nd down for the Tigers. They got to go 15 yards to get a 1st down with 4:20 left here in the 1st quarter. We're scoreless, by the way, if you just tuned in. There's the snap to Shelley. He's going to fake it to Allen, a pass out into the flat to Tyler Watkins. He's got a little bit of green grass, and he's able to get down inside the 10, so that's going to be a pickup of close to 10 yards, Ian.
Yeah, so it's really just an extended option play there as Shelley went with the read option, but then as he stepped out, he had Tyler Watkins sitting out in the flats, hit him with the pass. Watkins makes one guy miss and picks up. We're going to see where the spot is, but it looked like a 7 to a 10-yard gain there. It was a 10-yard gain, so that will set them up with 3rd and 5, Matt, at the 10.
So Darius Smith back on. Tyler Watkins comes off the field, and the Darlington Tigers will get ready here for this 3rd down and 5 situation with the ball on the 10 in the red zone, threatening to score here early in this football game, and it looks like we're going to have a stoppage of play.
The officials have already had a busy evening.
We've already seen some former Darlington Tigers here tonight. Colin Rogers, who was their top running back the last couple of years, he's here. Tate Ratledge is over on the sidelines. Of course, Georgia, their game for tomorrow against Vanderbilt was canceled earlier in the day. So good to see some former Tigers. There's a bunch of other down there. We'll see if we can pick up some of the other ones as we go along tonight.
It's not hard to pick out Tate.
No, definitely not. You don't need any help on that one, that's for sure. Shotgun formation on 3rd and 5, ball on the 10 in the red zone. Tigers with the ball. There's the snap. Rolling to the right is Shelley, and he's going to be dropped. And I thought I saw a flag too, but I guess not.
Yeah, no, you did, and I think it's on the Tigers. That was another busted play. Let's see what the call is. I believe it was on the Tigers. Yes.
Yep.
And it was an illegal shift. They're going to decline it and take the loss, and that'll set up a 4th down, and Brenton Sumner will come out to see if he can put the Tigers up 3-0.
All right, well, let's see if we can figure out where this is going to be lined up on the football field. It looks like it's going to be at the 24, perhaps, 22.
Well, we'll see where Jack Payne puts his knee down.
This will be a 34-yard attempt, unless I'm badly mistaken.
You're right, Matt. You nailed it.
And we wait for the snap. So, again, 34-yard attempt. Jack Payne with the hold. There's the kick. It's on the way, and that one is going to result in the first points of the game, 34-yard field goal, Brenton Sumner.
So the Darlington Tigers, they got a 1st down on their first drive, but then were forced to punt the ball away. Prince Avenue Christian had an early procedure penalty and then had themselves set up with a 3rd and 1. Darlington stuffed Brock Vandergriff on the keeper. They decided to go for it and pitched it to number 6, Landon Owens, and Patrick Shelley and Luke McDermott were able to bring him down behind the line, and the Darlington Tigers turned that 4 downs and out into 3 points and have their first lead of the night.
Hey, that's a huge win to come out and get that stop on 1st down, get the ball back. Sure, you wanted to get the touchdown, especially when you come in going to have great field position. There goes our 10th. This is getting really interesting.
It sure is.
Very quickly and perhaps even dangerous for that matter.
Perhaps.
We're getting some help here from the Darlington faithful. But nonetheless, we're about to have kickoff here as Darlington's going to kick it away here to Prince Avenue Christian after scoring the first 3 points of the game. That'll certainly get your attention.
It certainly will, Matt, and fortunately no one injured.
We almost got impaled there.
Yeah,
Maybe some fans as well.
And
Wow.
here we go.
Here comes the kickoff from the Darlington Tigers. Brenton Sumner is going to put the boot on the ball, and it's an onside kick attempt, and it will be fielded by Prince Avenue Christian. Of course, Darlington's done that a couple times this year, and it looks like Prince Avenue has seen the film. They were ready for it, Ian.
Yes, they were. Darlington has lined up in that formation. That was something that they introduced against North Cobb Christian and were successful with. But that time, obviously, some good scouting work done, and they were able to recover that.
But you can't blame them, though. I mean, they came out here. They're going to throw the kitchen sink at this game to see what they can do and give themselves opportunities playing up against a really, obviously very good team. But now Prince Avenue Christian starts on the 46-yard line on their side of the field. They give it to Owens. He is going to be dropped by Tyler Watkins. What a great pursuit on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and that was great sideline to sideline pursuit by the Tigers. Tyler Watkins gets the tackle. And so far, Darlington's defense is really playing great. I love the aggressive call there on the onside kick. Yeah, they didn't get it, but Darlington's trying to force the issue here and make some things happen, get some extra possessions.
There's the snap to Vandergrift, rolls out to his left on 2nd and 7, and that's going to be an incomplete pass. And I told you we were going to end up with a 10th frame before the night was over.
You did, Matt. You were prophetic in the pregame and called this. It's a lovely frame.
We're going to collaborate on a book about broadcasting games and the different situations we've had. This is almost up there with the scissor lift.
It is, and that was a Darlington broadcast as well.
Shotgun formation, Brock Vandergrift with a man in the backfield. That is Landon Owens. You got 3 wide on the far side, 1 on the near. And there is the snap here on 3rd and 7 from the 49. Ball's in the air. It's going to be incomplete to the wide receiver, Zach Dyer. Defense was all over him.
Absolutely. Great coverage there on the last 2 attempts. Vandergrift was not able to find his man. He's now 1 for 3 on the night. This time they won't have the option of going for it on 4th down because it is 4th and 7. So out trots
Bryson Franklin
to kick this away, and Luke McDermott, who is back to return. He's already had a really nice kickoff return. Patrick Shelley is usually your deep return man, but McDermott's back. We'll see if he gets an opportunity to use that speed.
So here's the snap to Franklin. Franklin is going to be pretty high kick, spiraling down inside the 20, takes a very nice roll, and they're going to pin Darlington back to the 5.
Yeah, that just flipped the field. And usually when you see a punter get out to the edge, it's a rugby-style punt, but he kicked that thing with a beautiful spiral, got a great roll, just a well-executed play there, and McDermott did what he should have. It was a short, high punt. He got away from it, but it took a Prince Avenue Christian bounce, and Darlington's going to have 95 yards to go to pay dirt.
Well, Darlington with the only points of the game on a 34-yard field goal from Brenton Sumner. They're up 3-0. We're at 1:55 left here in the first quarter, and the Darlington Tigers have come here tonight to compete at a high level in this football game. That's exactly what they're doing. Now they're backed up against their own 5-yard line. There's the snap, and they're going to try to run it up the middle, and they get a little bit of breathing room there. That was a good play.
Patrick Shelley on the keeper, just trying to get the ball out over the 5-yard line. He did a nice job there, picked up about 3 yards.
I think the wind picked up as well.
It did. It did. If you see that flag off in the distance, it is really whipping.
Man, this has been an adventure already, but a lot of fun. The Darlington Tigers on top, 3-0. We've got 1:26 left here in the first quarter, and they're going to send 3 wide to the far side here on this 2nd down and 7 with the ball now on the 8-yard line. Again, the drive started on the 5, so they got 3 yards on that first down play. Shotgun formation. They're going to hand it back to Harrison Allen. Carries a couple of defenders with him. I tell you what, man, he is such a hard runner.
Absolutely. Runs with purpose. Good low pad level, a lot of drive in his legs. He just pushed his way through there to make this 3rd and 3.
So the Tigers get ready for this 3rd down. As you mentioned, 3 yards to go with the ball on the 12. And we got 49 ticks left here on the first quarter. So we're edging towards the end of our first frame with Darlington up 3-0. Going to send a couple of wide receivers out to the far side, couple to the near. Allen in the backfield with Patrick Shelley here for this 3rd down and 3. They're going to let this roll down almost all the way on the play clock. 4, 3, 2. They snap it. They give it to Harrison Allen. He runs to the near side, finds some room. He's running down the sidelines, and he's out of bounds at the 45. And now he's covered in more mud.
That seems to be Harrison Allen's spot over there on the sidelines as he's now come in sliding for home twice. But what a big play there as he gets the edge and cuts it upfield, a huge gain. We'll see where they spot him. It's going to be at the Darlington 46-yard line. So a great run there by Harrison Allen. And he finished it off in style.
34-yard play, I believe. And now the Tigers get lined up and ready to roll here. And the wind, if you thought it couldn't get any worse, it has just picked up even more. So 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Ball on the 46, still on their side of the field. This drive started at the 5-yard line. So Darlington was pinned way back, almost up against their own goal line. And now let's see what they do. They're going to fake here to the near side. Throw towards Tyler Watkins, complete. They're on Prince Avenue's side of the field, now close to the 35. Wow.
And Matt, they set that play up early with a couple of quick out patterns. By that time, Shelley pump fakes, and Watkins heads upfield. He was wide open, and Shelley delivered a strike.
Indeed he did. A couple of wide receivers on the far side, one on the near. That's Gabe Simpkins. Also Tyler Watkins still out for this package. Tigers playing really, really strong in this first quarter. They lead 3-0 as time expires in the first quarter. We're going to step out for 1 minute. Again, Darlington 3, Prince Avenue Christian after 1 quarter of play. We'll step out for 1 minute on the Darlington Tiger Radio Network. We'll be back. We're okay, man.
I'm sorry about that.
It's not your fault, man. It's just Mother Nature.
Our cell coverage has gone way down. I'm streaming.
All right, Tigers get lined up here on 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line on Prince Avenue's side of the field. They run the football up the middle and find some room there and pick up 4 or 5 yards on 1st down.
I'll tell you what, Matt, what an impressive quarter. It's 3-0 Darlington. They only allowed Prince Avenue Christian to snap the ball 7 times in that first quarter. That is exactly what you want if you're the Darlington Tigers. Keep that high-powered offense off the field. And they're making plays on offense. This drive started on their own 5-yard line, and they are now knocking on the door of the red zone.
I see you gave up on your rosters.
I had to.
Darlington here with 2nd down and 6 with the ball in the 33. A little high snap, but he pulls it down and gives it to Allen. Dives over a defender, and I can't tell from the angle, but he's got to be close to the first
really
down.
close. They're moving the chains. Absolutely.
So Darlington moving the ball here on their 3rd drive of the football game. They already lead it 3-0. We've just started the 2nd quarter of play here from Bogart, Georgia. And the Tigers looking to try to increase their lead. Tyler Watkins, who's had a big game already, comes out on the field as Darius Smith comes off. So the Tigers now with 1st and 10 with the ball on the Prince Avenue Christian 26-yard line, so threatening to get it into the red zone. Shelley ready to take the snap. He is going to hand it to Allen. This time 3 defenders on top of him immediately.
Yeah, that time, great penetration from the Wolverine defensive line, and they stacked Allen up before he had a chance to make a move as he loses a yard on the play.
So that's going to bring up 2nd down and 11 for the Tigers now at the 27 on the Wolverine side of the field. Rome Orthopedic Center High School football scoreboard show tonight around 10 or whenever the game is over. And then also at the end of the night, the Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game. Last week it was Harrison Allen. Of course, it could have been a lot of guys, but he had a big night last week at Mount Pisgah Christian. There's the snap to Shelley. He fakes to the near side, throws it towards the middle of the field. He connects with his wide receiver. That was Thomas Bethel with his first catch, and that was close to another 1st down.
It sure was, and what a great catch by Bethel. He got smacked and was able to hold on to the ball. And Patrick Shelley, he doesn't throw a pass that doesn't have some heat on it. He fired that one in there. Bethel did a great job to haul it in, sets up a 3rd and 2, so they picked up 9 yards on the play.
And they bring in their jumbo set for this particular play. And Ian, this team is playing with a tremendous amount of confidence in this football game. And we talked about it last week. You want to be playing your best football at the end of the year. I thought last week was their best game, and who knows, maybe they're going to take it to the next level tonight. Power formation, heavy set here for the Tigers, and we're going to have a delay again.
Yeah, and Coach Atha definitely frustrated here because he sent Shelley in from the sideline, and then they almost got a delay of game penalty on a 3rd and 2, but they were able to get the timeout.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to take a timeout here on WLAQ as well. Darlington 3, Prince Avenue Christian 0. We're in the 2nd quarter with 9 minutes and 17 seconds left. We'll step out for 30 seconds. We'll be back. I know, dude. And we are back in Bogart, Georgia. We are at Brad Akins Field, which is the home of the Wolverines football team from Prince Avenue Christian. And, of course, this team has had a very good run. As a matter of fact, the last 10 seasons, they've made it to at least the 2nd round of the playoffs. And I believe they made it to the finals, and they've, again, just had a great success with this football program. It's still a new program. I think they started playing GHSA football in 2005.
That is impressive to have as much success as they've had.
So the Tigers line up with 3rd and 2 with the ball on the 18 in the red zone. Shelley is going to hand it off to Allen. He gets a good block on the far side and got the 1st down. The Darlington Tigers are in business.
And you're starting to see some frustration from this Prince Avenue Christian team. I think they may be a little bit surprised at the effort they're getting from the Darlington Tigers so far. They seem to have defenders in position to make plays, but Allen and Shelley and Watkins and these guys are just making them miss and making big plays so far. 1st down and 10 at the 11, so Darlington will still be able to get a 1st down inside the 1-yard line, but they are knocking on the door. A touchdown would be huge right here, Matt.
Indeed it would be. Right behind the quarterback, Shelley. It looks like as Allen, they're going to pitch to him and gets a good block and gets a little bit of room, maybe picks up a few yards. And again, from our angle, it's so hard to see how much they're picking up on these plays in certain areas of the field.
Definitely got that past the line of scrimmage, so he's picked up a few positive yards, or they're going to mark it as 1, yeah.
So Tigers with 2nd and 9 with the ball now on the 10-yard line. Running out on the field, it's going to be McKay Rush. He's made some pretty big plays
freshman,
late in the season, yeah.
He's been a contributor for Darlington for sure.
Going to have 2 wide to the near side, Speed and Simpkins. Allen still in the backfield, getting a lot of work in this first half. There's the snap. Quarterback's going to run it. He goes towards the goal line, and he's going to be stopped. And it looks like from our angle he'll be inside the 5.
Sure does, and it is really tough for us to see when they get on the sideline. But a nice gain by Shelley. They are on the 4-yard line. Now they can pick up a first down inside the 1.
Well, let's see if they can just punch it in and get a score right here on this play. 3rd down and 3 with the ball on the 4. Darlington Tigers seeing what they can dial up here to try to increase this lead. Right now it's 3-0 with 7:25 left in the first half of play. And I can tell you it is very quiet on the opposite side of this field with the Prince Avenue Christian fans. They were not expecting this for the game to go like this at this point. There's the snap. They're going to give to Harrison Allen. Nice spin move, and he heads towards the end zone, but he's going to be stopped and bring back a couple of yards. But what a great effort there by Harrison Allen.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do here. Brenton Sumner was able to convert on his first field goal, and he kicked that one into this stiff wind. But right here, I mean, you know, you can go up 6-0, or you can roll the dice and see if you can get that 10-0 lead. And it looks like Darlington's going to keep the offense out there on the field and see if they can get a touchdown.
Absolutely, and, you know, obviously, well, here comes Thomas Bethel out on the field. They're going to change up their personnel as they get ready for this next play. It's 4th and 2 with the ball on the 4-yard line.
They're going to have to take a timeout, Matt.
And now Shelley, well, they're going to take a timeout, as you say. So we're actually going to keep it through this timeout here at Brad Akins Field, as we do not want to miss this next play. But right now, again, it is 4th down for the Darlington Tigers. Ball on the 4. Got to get you 2 yards to get that first down. Darlington is up 3-0. The way the game started, Darlington would start with the ball in offense. They picked up a first down. They would have to punt on that first possession. Prince Avenue would get the ball. They went for it on 4th down. Didn't make it, so they turned it over on downs. Darlington got the ball, got it down the field with great field position. They would start on the Wolverines' 37, ended up having to settle for a field goal, but that gave them the lead 3-0. On the next possession, the defense would force a 3-and-out for the Wolverines. Darlington has the ball. They picked up, I believe, 4 first downs and have taken it all the way from their own 5-yard line down to the 4-yard line on Prince Avenue side of the field. So this has been an outstanding drive, and hopefully the result will be points one way or the other. So
yeah, I like the aggressive nature of this
too.
Though you put a field goal through here, it's still a 1-possession game. If you get a touchdown, you've really got some momentum going your way, and it's a 2-possession game. And if you don't get it, they've still got to drive 98 yards.
And the Darlington Tigers came here tonight to try to win this football game. So you got to give yourself your best shot and take advantage of the opportunities you have, and they're going to go for it. So 4th and 2, Shelley with an empty backfield, getting ready to take the snap, and a timeout is called by Prince Avenue Christian. So a little bit of gamesmanship going on here, a little cat and mouse, so to speak.
Absolutely. A big play here early in this game. We're about midway through the second quarter. Darlington's leading 3-0.
Indeed. We're glad you're with us. We're going to keep it here through this timeout as well. Stay tuned at halftime. We'll do our best to relay some scores from some other area games of interest. And I don't think we've mentioned this so far, but the winner of this football game will play the winner of the Eagles Landing Christian Academy Stratford Academy football game going on tonight. And of course, Eagles Landing Christian Academy has won the last 5 state championships in Class A. So obviously, everybody knows what kind of football team that is. And so hopefully, the Darlington Tigers are going to play another week. But we got a long way to go. But Darlington up right now, 3-0 with 6:19 left here in the first half of play, and a great start to the game for the Tigers.
And I do have a couple of scores for you. Model trailing Raven County in the first quarter, 14-0. You've got Rome trailing River Ridge 21-7.
Ooh.
Calhoun's all tied with Clark Central 7-7 in the second quarter. So some surprising scores from our region teams. Here come the Tigers.
Here they are. The timeout has ended. Tigers run back out onto the field, and this team, let me tell you, playing with a tremendous amount of confidence and enthusiasm here tonight. Let's see if they can punch it in and go up by a couple scores. Man goes in motion. Here's the snap to Shelley. Drops back looking to throw, and we got a flag.
Interesting. All of that. It's going to be a false start on Darlington, so we may see Brenton Sumner come out and kick after all. Oh, that is frustrating. Really frustrating for the Tigers.
Indeed it is. 8:07. You're listening to Darlington Football on WLAQ tonight, 96.9 FM, 1410 AM, or WLAQ1410.com. Or perhaps you're watching the Darlington School YouTube channel and their video feed. Certainly been a pleasure working with David Corbin and Joey Johnston throughout the year. These guys, I mean, they are troopers. All the things they've had to go through tonight to get this thing on the air. We're working with a generator. We're outside. We've had to have a tent. It's been an adventure, to say the least.
And they might have saved our lives by cutting loose the canopy that was over our heads, so we really appreciate that.
Yeah, not the way we wanted things to go, but maybe it would have been good television. I don't know. Here comes an attempt here from Brinson Sumner. Can you tell where he's lined up? Here's the kick. That's 25-yarder, I believe, and it is going to be good. And now the score is 6-0. So, yeah, you wanted a touchdown, but you got points, and you're up 6-0 over the number one team in the state.
Yeah, and let's not forget that. Yeah, that drive started back at the 5-yard line. A touchdown would have been really sweet, but you'll take the 3 and a 6-0 lead midway through the second quarter, and you've outsnapped this team tenfold at this point as Prince Avenue has only run 7 offensive plays.
We've got 6:10 left here in the second quarter. Again, Darlington up 6-0 after a couple of field goals from Brinson Sumner. And one of the things I did want to mention about Brinson, he started receiving D1 offers, which surprises absolutely no one if they followed his career for Darlington the last couple of years and how much he's improved and gotten better. You knew somebody was going to pick him up. I know Charleston Southern offered him early in the week. I saw a Twitter post that he had an offer from Mercer, and I was talking to Coach Atha yesterday, as a matter of fact, and he indicated to me that he is committed to Mercer. So you would have heard that in our radio interview with Coach Atha, so congratulations to him. And also Davis Watson is committed to Cornell, so 2 Ivy League commitments from Darlington in 1 year. And Coach Atha said that during his tenure here, that's the first 2 that have ever gone to the Ivy League from his team.
That's awesome.
Impressive.
Congratulations to both those guys.
Indeed. Well, the Tigers come back to the line of scrimmage. They attempted an onside kick on their last kickoff, but they will not do that this time. They're going to kick it away, and that one is going to drop and go into the end zone for an automatic touchback.
All right, Matt. So a great start for the Tigers. All week we've been like, man, maybe things will get off to a nice fast start for Darlington. They'll get some momentum, and they can make this game go 4 quarters. They have a chance to do just that with only half of the second quarter remaining.
Indeed they do, and the Wolverines are going to start at their own 20-yard line. Going to make them go 80 yards. If they're going to pick up any points on this drive, Brock Vandergriff, who had over 3,038 yards coming into this football game, is, of course, their quarterback going to Georgia next year. 2 wide on the far side. They're going to run a jet sweep to the far side to number 1, Logan Johnson, and he is off to the races, let me tell you. He's at the 50, the 45, 40, and finally Luke McDermott is going to tap him out of bounds right at around the 25. That was a big-time play, and that young man is actually one of their best wide receivers. They ran a sweep on that play, but he had almost 1,000 receiving yards. I don't know how many yards he's run for this year.
And he's not a tall guy, but, man, he's got some speed. That time he took the jet sweep and then found a cutback lane, and really he stumbled around the 40, or he would have gotten more yards there.
Shotgun formation. Here's the snap to Brock Vandergriff. He hands it off. They're going to find a little room up the middle there for number 6, Landon Owens. And they get 4 or 5 yards. And you were talking about Logan Johnson, the man that ran that last play. He is 5'6", by the way.
And has almost 1,000 receiving yards.
Yes.
That's impressive.
They're going to send 2 wide receivers to the far side. Here comes the snap to Vandergriff. He's going to hand it. No, he's going to run it up the middle. He is a dual-threat quarterback, and that was a big run. That's enough for a first down.
Yeah, he's a big kid there, and he made a nice read there to pick up the first down.
So now the ball's in the red zone on the 16-yard line. The Wolverines trailing 6-0, but they're threatening here as we get pretty late into the second quarter. 5:17 left here in this quarter with Darlington up 6-0. Man goes in motion, and Brock Vandergriff rolls out to the right, throws a pass to the right side. He is able to hit his man, Johnson. How did he get over there so quickly? And a flag comes in.
Yeah, we may have a hold here, and that could bring this play back.
getting mighty chilly out here, my friend.
It's that. I mean, the wind
is brutal.
is brutal, no doubt. Might go to the mask.
All right, Tigers on top right now, 6-0. 5:06 left here in the second quarter. 1st and 10, but we do have a penalty. And now Prince Avenue goes back to the line of scrimmage. All on the 17. I don't know what happened. Vandergrift getting ready to take the snap. Man goes in motion. And now Vandergrift is going to put the ball in the air, and this is headed towards the corner of the end zone, incomplete. His intended receiver was Philip Kelly.
And on that one, that was an interesting play there as he was kind of drifting to his left, and that ball came out really ugly. I think that he's having some problems gripping the ball. I mean, it's like we said, it may not be raining, but it was a steady downpour before this game, so that ball has got to be slick. And so far, Vandergrift struggled with his accuracy.
He truly has. This brings up 2nd and 10 with the ball in the 17. Prince Avenue in the red zone, trailing 6-0. Under 5 minutes now to play here in our first half. They're going to run a sweep this time again with Johnson. Find some room to run. He's running down to about the 5-yard line, it looks like. So that'll be a first down here for, I believe, the Prince Avenue Christian Wolverines. Yes, it is.
Yeah, and that kid is dangerous. Logan Johnson, he is slippery.
I don't know if we've seen anybody with that kind of speed this year. And quickness. Shotgun formation. Landon Owens in the backfield with Brock Vandergrift. 2 wide receivers on the far side. Everybody else is in tight. Vandergrift rolls out to the right. He's going to run the football towards the end zone. Spin into the end zone.
It was a spin zone. Spin zone. That was a great run there by Vandergrift. Off right tackle there. He made a nice spin and got it into the end zone. And just like that, they got the ball with 6 minutes and 10 seconds left in this quarter. It took them 1 minute and 23 seconds, and they have tied this game at 6. If the PAT goes through, they'll have the lead at 7-6.
And kicking the PAT is going to be Bryson Franklin. And so we'll get ready for that. Right now, tied up at 6 apiece with 4:47 left in the first half. And here comes the snap. The hole looks good. Kick on the way, and it is right through. That kid has got a big leg, it looks like.
He does. I was watching him in warm-ups, Matt, and he was kicking him from about 45 yards away, and he would have been good from 55, no problem.
So Wolverines up now 7-6 over Darlington with 4:47 left to go here in our first half of play. So, they came out, they scored. That's kind of what we expected to see that Prince Avenue Christian offense to look like. And now Darlington has to come out on offense and ring and of course answer the bell.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to make this game go 4 quarters if you're Darlington. Right now you're trailing by 1 point. There's 5 minutes left in the second quarter. This drive needs to drain the clock, pick up a couple of first downs, see if you can get to the locker room. If you score, great. But if you can keep Prince Avenue from having another opportunity before halftime, that'll be a huge victory for Darlington.
Did you know it was going to be this cold and windy tonight?
I did not know about the wind, man. I knew we were going to have a cold, wet night, and the rain has gone away, but the wind has really picked up.
It truly has. Franklin has got the ball teed up at the 40, of course, ready to kick this thing off. Darlington with McDermott back. And then another man over on the far side. We'll catch his number here in just a second. Oh, it's Tyler Watkins. Here is the kickoff. It's heading towards no, that's not Watkins, actually. That's going to be Talon Shirey. And this one is going to be re-kicked.
Sure is. Wolverines got a bit of a head start there, so they'll back that up 5 yards and do it again.
So this time they'll kick it off from the 35-yard line.
Glad I wore thick socks.
Oh, I did too. I wore thick, very long socks that almost come up to your knees.
There you go, man. Well done.
It seemed like a good decision, and honestly, I think that's the only part of me right now that's not cold.
Yeah, right.
To be honest with you. There's no excuse for not having a pretty good feel for what the weather's going to be like in 2020, though.
No, we were ready.
We were pretty ready.
Yeah.
Franklin ready to kick it off again. after the penalty backed them up 5 yards. So again, coming from the 35 this time. And it is 7-6. Prince Avenue Christian over Darlington right now with 4:47 left to go in the first half. Franklin puts the boot on it again. It's going to be a long kick that's going to be dropping in and going out of bounds.
Great job.
At about the 5-yard line. So that's going to give Darlington nice field position again.
Yeah, really nice job there by Luke McDermott to judge that ball and give it an opportunity to go out of bounds. That was going to be a tough return.
So they'll get it at the 35 after it went out of bounds. So 1st and 10 Darlington.
Tell you what, if you look at the back of Harris now, you'd think he played for a different team.
Great effort from that young man all season. He's been a real pleasure to watch play. Of course, the whole football team. The one thing that you can always count on from this team all year is you're getting 100% from them from the start of the game to the finish every single week. It's been impressive.
Big drive here for Darlington. They really need to get a couple of first downs. And
here's the snap. They're going to fake to Allen. Quarterback's going to run, and he did a good job hanging on to that football because Prince Avenue Christian was trying to strip it away.
They were. He got hit high, and then you had one guy go for the rip, and Shelley did a good job to maintain possession there. No gain on the play.
So the ball stays at the 40-yard line, bringing up 2nd down and 10 for the Tigers here on their own side of the field.
Darlington cheerleaders getting the fans fired up.
Tigers will send a couple wide on each side. Here's the snap, the give. Nope, quarterback's going to keep it. He's on the run, stays up, and I believe he got a first down.
He did, Matt. He absolutely did get a first down, and a huge first down for Darlington.
So the Tigers are now going to have the ball at midfield after Patrick Shelley gets his legs going and moves the ball 10 yards. And the Tigers really, really looking great on offense for this game so far here in the first half. Got a couple of field goals. They trail by 1, 7-6. 3 wide receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. High snap, pull down, and a flag comes in.
And the frustration will continue for this Darlington offense with the procedure penalties as they're going to back that one up 5 yards. And Tommy Atha is hot.
Darlington Tigers fans, man, I cannot say enough about how they traveled for this football game. They've got the away stands filled up.
Yeah, it's not a short drive, 2.5 hours from Rome to the Athens area.
In the rain, about 3. And depending on traffic, sometimes even worse.
Yeah, absolutely.
3 wide on the near side, 1 on the far side. There's the snap. Quarterback's going to run it, and he is not able to find any room on the edge. It's knocked out of bounds, and I don't know if he lost any yards, but he certainly didn't get much on that play.
No, good pursuit there from the Wolverine defense. Shelley was just not able to get going. Made a couple of guys miss. And I don't think the down and distance over there on the scoreboard is right.
I don't think so either. No, I think it's 2nd and
17, somewhere in there.
Yep. So the Tigers will go back to the drawing board here for this play, trying to keep things going here. The ball was at the 50-yard line. They've lost 6 yards.
And the clock is not running. I don't believe he got to the boundary. Interesting.
A couple of wide receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. Watkins goes in motion just before the snap. Shelley looks right, now towards the left, and able to connect with his wide receiver. Was that Gabe Simpkins on the far side?
I think it was Thomas Speed. It may have been. It was Simpkins.
It was Simpkins.
Yeah, nice catch there. Those two guys have a similar build, and they're both in the 20s when it comes to their numbers. So good eye there, Matt.
Thank you very much. I was asking Ian if he had good vision earlier, and we're both lucky at this point in our life. You just turned 40 not too long ago.
Yeah.
I'm 42. I hadn't been hit too hard with the vision part yet, but it's coming, I'm told. 3rd down and 5.
So much to look forward to.
Tigers with the ball now on the 45 on the Wolverine side of the field, trailing by 1. 7-6 is your score. There's the snap, empty backfield for Shelley. Fakes. He's going to have to tuck and run, and he is going to be brought down. Great second effort there by Shelley to try to keep the play alive, but he's going to be dropped after a pickup of maybe a yard at the most. 4th down.
And that sets up 4th down here. And Prince Avenue Christian is electing to let the clock run, which is a little bit surprising here. They showed they don't need much time to score. And And the Darlington punt team is coming out. They should be able to run this down to right at 2 minutes. And if Sumner can get off a good kick, maybe they can pin them deep.
So Sumner on, as you said, to punt the ball away. One man back deep here for Prince Avenue Christian. And here comes the snap, and the punt is on the way. Kind of went off his foot a little bit funny, but took a nice spin, and this is going to back him up to the goal line nearly.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Beautiful kick there by Sumner. Put a little English on it, and the wet field also helped that one stop dead in its tracks.
He is such a skilled kicker, and cannot wait to watch that young man play at the next level. I think there are certainly going to be some big things in his future.
No, without a doubt. Without a doubt. So he'll go on to play for Mercer. Here we go, Matt. They're not wasting any time from their own 3-yard line. Here come the Wolverines.
Wolverines will send a couple of wide receivers to the far side, one on the near. Of course, Brock Vandergriff, their quarterback, about 6'4", over 200 pounds, a big kid with a big arm, no question about it. And he gets ready to take the snap. Little shifting around there by Landon Owens, who's now flanked to Vandergriff's right, and they're working from right to left. And a flag comes in. This is on the Wolverines.
It sure is. It'll be half the distance, so they'll back this up to the 1.5-yard line. And just to set the stage for you here, Prince Avenue Christian leads 7-6. There's 1 minute and 51 seconds. They have the ball on their own 1.5-yard line. They have both their timeouts. Their last scoring drive took them 1 minute and 23 seconds. So they definitely have the ability to strike quickly.
Indeed they do. They're going to send one wide here to the near side. They're going to have a couple off to that far side, working from right to left. Again, the Wolverines uniforms look almost identical to Michigan Wolverines. Man goes in motion. There's the snap. They're going to hand it off, try to get a little room in the middle, and they're able to get some push and several yards on that play. So that should set up a 2nd down and 5, it looks like, here for the Wolverines.
But they aren't in a huge hurry, Matt. Again, just watching this clock, I think it's a huge victory for Darlington to get to the locker room, only trailing by 1 point to the #1 team in their classification.
Incredible performance. There's the snap. Vandergriff looking to throw here on a play-action pass. He connects with his wide receiver, Philip Kelly, and he is going to be hauled in by Thomas Speed, but he's going to have the ball down to the 38-yard line on Darlington's side of the field on a big play.
And that flips everything. Now you got 1 minute and 14 seconds and 2 timeouts, and that's an eternity. And that's the first time we really saw Vandergriff's arm talent on display there as he dropped back into the end zone and threw a dart downfield.
1st and 10 from the Darlington 40 as Vandergriff just threw an unbelievable throw. Nice grab there by his wide receiver, Philip Kelly. Man goes in motion. They're going to the motion man. Nope. Quarterback's going to keep it and run up the middle and get about 2 or 3 yards.
Darlington's got to shake that one off and move on to the next play.
And that's one of the things, Ian, that they've done a good job, I think, throughout the year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, without a doubt. And Prince Avenue Christian is going to take a timeout here with 1 minute and 6 left.
Well, let's take one as well. As you mentioned, 1 minute and 6 left here in the first half. Darlington trails Prince Avenue Christian on the road. 7-6 is your score. We'll be back in 30 seconds. All right, we are back, and right now it's 2nd and 7 with the ball on the 37. Prince Avenue Christian with the football and a 1-point lead, 7-6. Again, 1:06 left first half. Vandergriff with an empty backfield. 5 wide receivers set. Takes the snap, drops back into the pocket, has a nice pocket, looking to throw, has plenty of time, puts a good ball in the air and connects with an unbelievable touchdown pass. That was to Logan Johnson. That was a big-time throw.
No doubt about it. he hadn't done much before this drive, but Brock Vandergrift just showed off why he is such a highly touted recruit, and Georgia Bulldog fans are so excited to get this kid just a short drive over to Athens on campus, and that was amazing, man. He had time to eat a sandwich, desserts, take a nap in the pocket there, and he was able to point his receiver out and threw a dart for a touchdown.
That was to Logan Johnson, a 37-yard pass right into the end zone. And here comes the kick from Franklin on the way, and that is going to be good. So that moves the score to 14-6 in favor of Prince Avenue Christian. And you're right, Ian. That throw right there is exactly what you expect to see with a young man with a reputation like that. That was just incredible.
Look, they were backed up to their 1.5-yard line, and it was really 2 passes and a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's what he brings to the table. And again, he had a lot of time to make that throw, but still shows off that arm talent for sure there with that pass.
Unbelievable. So with 57 seconds left here in the second quarter, again, Darlington now trailing 14-6. Great effort from the Tigers here in this first half. So let's see what they can do here with the final minute left here of this first half.
And let's remember that the Wolverines do get the ball to start the second half. So you don't want to give them a cheap score here because you really played well this half, especially that first quarter and half. We've seen how quickly they can score. So it'll be interesting to see how Darlington approaches this drive.
So Franklin with it teed up from the 40, ready to kick it off here for the Wolverines, who now lead this football game 14-6 with under a minute to play in the first half. That one's going to go off towards the far side. Will be fielded and brought out by the Darlington Tigers, and cutting up field and getting a nice return is going to be Thomas Bethel.
Yeah.
For 35, it looks like.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of teams make that mistake to the Darlington Tigers. They want to keep it away from Luke McDermott, but if you kick it short, you end up having to deal with Thomas Bethel, and he's a playmaker. So nice return there by Bethel. And I think he's given Brent Bell and Coach Atha some decisions to make here. If they want to be aggressive from their own 36, they could be.
You sound like you're shivering.
Maybe.
Tigers go back to the line of scrimmage here as they break the huddle. 1st and 10 ball on the 36-yard line as they get ready to start their last drive, it looks like, here of the first half, trailing. And a fake there by Shelley puts the ball at the middle of the field. That is going to be intercepted by the Wolverines, number 13, who is running down and goes out of bounds. And that young man's name is Chaz Scoggins, who picks up the first interception of the game. And Prince Avenue Christian has got another golden opportunity here.
Yeah, and let's see what that's all about. Could be on the return, I would imagine. I didn't see anything. It is a personal foul. Mm-hmm. It is on Prince Avenue Christian. But I do believe it was during the return.
Right now.
Oh, we'll see.
Yeah.
Officials are having a little powwow down there to figure this out. And the other thing about being over here on the visiting sideline, Matt, is that when the official does give his call, he's giving it to the home stands. So it's a personal foul, face mask, and it was on the Wolverines, so they will maintain possession, but this ball will be backed up.
So Chaz Scoggins with the interception, as we mentioned to you. And now as they mark off the penalty yards, this is going to be brought back. Instead of at the 36, it'll be at the 45. Trying to position yourself away from the wind there, huh?
I am, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
So the Wolverines are going to start off on the Darlington Tigers side of the field, leading at 14-6 with 35 seconds. Vandergrift's going to put it in the air, swings it towards the right side of that formation, connects with a wide receiver. A lot of running. The flag comes in, and being tackled is Zach Dyer. Let's see what this flag's all about.
It could be a face mask there as he was coming back across the field. An effort foul, if I saw it correctly. We'll see. But that could also be a hold. Yeah, it is going to be a hold.
Is there a hurricane in the forecast for tonight?
Yeah, hurricane
Georgia.
Freezing.
Oh my goodness, 14-6. Darlington trailing with 22 seconds left on the clock. And that is going to back them up.
Yeah, I got a hold, so.
To the 40-yard line. So that'll help the cause. Darlington trying to keep Prince Avenue Christian from a quick score here to end the half. So let's see if they can get a stop. It is 1st and 23 with the ball on the 41. Of course, we've seen big plays on that last drive for Prince Avenue Christian. Man goes in motion. They're going to hand it off and run it at the middle. Pick up about 5 or 6 yards, it looked like, on that play.
And, Matt, I think they're just going to take this one to the locker room as time has expired in the second quarter.
All right. Well, at the end of the first half, the Darlington Tigers putting up a valiant effort in that half, trailing only 14-6 to the number 1 team in the state of Georgia in Class A private, the Prince Avenue Christian Wolverines. So we're going to send it back to the studio again. 14 for the Wolverines, 6 for the Tigers. We'll be back in just a few minutes to give you some statistical data. We'll talk about some other games going on around Northwest Georgia tonight, and we'll tell you the story of what happened in the first half here in Bogart, Georgia. We'll be back in a few minutes. All right, we are back and just trying not to have everything that we have here set up blow away here from Bogart, Georgia. Very, very windy night, and it seems like every time we mention it, it gets windier. So I'm going to shut up about it because I know that you can probably hear it all over our microphones.
Maybe our teeth and everything else. So.
I know I did receive a text from my wife Tanya just a little bit ago, and she said, "I can hear y'all's teeth chattering on the air."
I don't doubt that.
Sorry about that.
I don't doubt that.
You don't want to end up in that situation, but it is certainly chilly tonight. But I got to tell you, man, not complaining. There is no place that either one of us would rather be tonight than here tonight, bringing this game to you, so we can follow the Darlington Tigers. This has been so much fun throughout this season, and it's just been a real pleasure to get to be here. So it's so exciting to get to be here tonight for this football game.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you told me Darlington was going to be trailing 14-6 in this ball game at halftime, I would have said they probably played a pretty good half of football. And they did just that. Really, only in the last 6 minutes was Prince Avenue Christian able to get anything really generated on offense. They made some big plays. Darlington had an opportunity to go up 10-0, went 90-plus yards and could not punch it into the end zone. But an impressive half of football from Darlington.
Indeed. So we'll go over the scoring summary there for the football game, kind of tell you how everything would shake out there in that first half. And then we'll take another break and then come back, hopefully, with some statistics for you. Stacey Norton's done a tremendous job with that, and so we'll probably have something from him in just a little bit. But the game will start off with Darlington on offense. They would pick up a first down there on that first possession, but then would have to punt on the next series. The ball would be in the hands of Prince Avenue Christian. They would get into a 4th-and-1 situation, turned it over on downs. Darlington got the ball back, and they would start off on the 37-yard line of the Wolverines with 7:57 left to play in the first quarter of play. They would score on a 34-yard field goal from Brenson Sumner to put them up 3-0. After that, on the ensuing drive, the Wolverines would get the ball at the 46-yard line on their side of the field after a pretty decent return. 3 and out from the Darlington Tigers defense would put the ball back in the Tigers' hands with 1:55 left to play in that first quarter. Picked up a bunch of first downs on that drive, but they would have to settle for a field goal. They got it all the way down, I believe, to the 4-yard line on that drive.
Yeah, and had a procedure penalty that took the option to go for it on 4th down away, unfortunately, and that was a problem that kind of plagued Darlington. If there's one really thing you could harp on, it was those procedure penalties.
Indeed, and they would kick a 25-yard field goal to go up 6-0, and that would happen with 6:10 left, I believe. That's what my notes say, left to go in that second quarter. Then the Wolverines would get the ball back, yes, with 6:10 left in that half. They would start on the Wolverines' 20-yard line. On a 6-yard run from Brock Vandergrift, they would score and the extra point was good from Franklin. They would go up 7-6 to take their first lead of the night. And then with 4:47 left to go in the second half, Darlington would get the ball, would have to punt. The Wolverines would get it back on a 37-yard touchdown pass to Johnson from Brock Vandergrift. Just an absolute beautiful throw, and he had a couple of big passes on that particular drive. They would score again. Extra point from Franklin was good, and that is where our score is right now, 14-6. Darlington will get the ball back. There was an interception by Chaz Scoggins of the Wolverines, and then essentially time would run out on that first half as they got the ball back with 35 seconds left. So all in all, Ian, of course, you know, you'd love when you had the situation, especially when they had the short field to come away with a touchdown. Had to settle for a couple of field goals, but again, if you'd have told me that coming into this game the score would be 14-6 at halftime, I might have been a little bit surprised based on the fact that the Wolverines have scored 50 points a game and just the reputation this team's had throughout the year. So great effort by the Darlington Tigers in that first half, and let's face it, we're going to get ready for a second half in which this is a ball game.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Matt. And, midway through the second quarter, Prince Avenue Christian had only run 7 plays. And we saw late in that second quarter, they don't need many plays to score. So Darlington was sticking to a recipe for success. They were running the ball well. They were keeping the ball away from that high-powered Wolverine offense. And it was benefiting them greatly. And then, they even executed well in special teams. They pin them inside the 3-yard line, and then you see 2 big passes from Brock Vandergrift, and all of a sudden it's 14-6.
Indeed. Well, I tell you what, we're going to take another break here on our halftime show. We're glad you're with us. I'm at the end of the night again, the Rome Orthopedic Center High School Football Scoreboard Show. If you're listening to the radio broadcast tonight, you already heard Randy Davis in the studio relaying some scores to you from some of the other games. And so that'll be happening tonight again at 10 o'clock or whenever this game is over. They'll get cranked up with that. And we'll also have the Honeymoon Bakery Icing on the Cake Player of the Game awarded at the end of the night. We've given that out to a lot of different players this year who have earned it. And there's certainly some guys that at the end of the season that could have earned it that we just couldn't get to everybody. But just been a great season here for the Tigers. Great team effort, great team chemistry, and they got a whole other half to see what they can do here against a big challenge against Prince Avenue Christian. But again, having it 14-6 football game, anything can happen in those final 24 minutes of this game.
Ain't nothing like a Tiger on a Friday night.
Couldn't say it better myself. We're going to send it back to the studio for a break. We'll be back here from Bogart, Georgia. Prince Avenue Christian playing here at home tonight at Brad Akins Field on top of the Tigers 14-6. We'll be back with more of our halftime show when we come back. right, we are back live at Bogart, Georgia, and I heard the big kahuna on the radio broadcast talking about the weather forecast from the airport over here, that we have like, what you say, 10-mile-an-hour winds with
10 to
25,
15,
with
steady.
with 25-mile-an-hour gusts.
Yeah.
It's all of that and then some, I can tell you that. I would say it's got to be more than that with these gusts. Right now it's about to knock over our video screen and just about everything else. But anyway, at halftime it is 14-6 in favor of the home team tonight, which is Prince Avenue Christian, the Wolverines, on top of Darlington. Again, 14-6, and we do have some stats that we're going to relay to you. And we will start with Darlington tonight. Passing for Patrick Shelley, he is 4 of 6 for 46 yards with that one interception picked up by Chas Scoggins. In terms of running the football, Patrick Shelley has 9 carries for 16 yards. Harrison Allen having another big night tonight. He has 12 carries for 78 yards, so he almost picked up. He was closing in on 100 yards in that first half. As far as receiving, we have Tyler Watkins with 2 catches for 26 yards. Thomas Bethel, 1 catch for 10 yards. Gabe Simpkins, 1 catch for 10 yards. Tackles, Tyler Watkins, 1. Joe Marion, 1. Patrick Shelley, 1. Thomas Bethel, 1. Thomas Speed, 1. Luke McDermott, 1. Christian McClooney, 1. Davis Watson has 2. And then there's one more gentleman here for the Tigers and with 1 tackle, and that is going to be Caleb Butler. He also has 1 as well. For Prince Avenue Christian, as far as their statistics, we have a few things to share with you. You would have Brock Vandergriff with 80 yards passing and a touchdown. He would also carry it 4 times for 9 yards, I believe, and a touchdown. And then his primary target that we talked about, Johnson, he's 5'6", fast, quick. He had 2 catches for 59 yards. 2 carries for 59 yards. And then Owens had 5 carries for 16 yards. So that's all the stats that we have here for you at halftime. We appreciate Stacey Norton relaying those to us. We really appreciate that. That is a tremendous help.
Yeah, it really is. It's nice to get the breakdown on that at halftime and at the end of the game. And really, Matt, I mean, you said it. Vandergriff has, 80 yards in the air? Most of those came on 1 drive. Because
2 passes, basically.
Yeah, the rest of the night he had been held in check, but that's what you get when you have a player like that that's that dangerous. And he made the Tigers pay on that drive.
Indeed, he did. Well, we've got about 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock, left of the halftime period. And then, as we always tell you, they do have the 3-minute mandatory warm-up period at the end of halftime in the state of Georgia and the GHSA. So we're actually about 5 minutes out from the start of our second half. Here at halftime, Prince Avenue Christian Wolverines 14, Darlington Tigers 6. We have a full 24 minutes left to play, a whole half left to go here from Bogart, Georgia. So we are going to send it back to the studio. I think Ian may crack open some more of these hot hands, hand warmers, and get ready for this second half. So
I have 6 going currently.
Do you really? You really do. Wow. Okay, well, with that said, we'll send it back to the studio. We'll come back for the second half after this last break. We'll be back. Yep, we are back here in Bogart, Georgia at Brad Atkins Field on the campus of Prince Avenue Christian School, just outside of Athens, Georgia. And right now, Prince Avenue on top, 14-6 over the Darlington Tigers. We've got about 2 minutes and 14 seconds left of the mandatory warm-up period, which we are enjoying at this moment as we get ready for the second half. And, of course, the Darlington Tigers playing here tonight and putting up a significant battle against this Prince Avenue Christian team. So let's see what they can do here in the final 24.
It's going to be interesting here, Matt. Big possession for this Darlington defense as they kick off the Wolverines. Can they get a 3-and-out or just get the ball back in general and see if they can get something going on offense to climb back in this game? You just want to hang around. You give yourself a chance in the fourth quarter, and anything can happen.
Indeed, and we will see what happens. And one of the things we've talked about a lot tonight and throughout the season about this Darlington Tigers team, a couple of things that you can count on is they're going to give effort from the beginning of the game to the end. And this team never gets rattled by these types of situations. They just play it one down at a time. And if you're able to do that with the talent that this football team has, the Darlington Tigers, and the way they approach the game, anything is possible. So we're hoping that we're going to see something special here at the end of this game. But no matter what, you can count on those two things, the effort and of course, just the way they approach this football game. Going forward, you're going to get 100% of what they have at the end of the game. And as Coach Atha always says, if you do that, if you give it 100% and give everything you have to it, then we'll live with the results at the end of the night. So,
yeah, and he's got these guys to buy in. There's no doubt about it. We saw that effort in the first half, and they're going to give this team everything they've got for 4 quarters.
Indeed. Well, we're just about ready to go, folks. 30 seconds left on the clock here. And we will get started with our second half. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast tonight as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. And again, we'll say it several times before the broadcast is over. It's been a lot of fun working with this broadcast team this year. Obviously, producer David Corbin and then Joey Johnson, who runs the cameras. And then, of course, Ian Griffin, man, I always enjoy working the games with you as well. We've been friends for a long time, so it's been great throughout this season just to hang out with your friend and talk football every Friday night.
Yeah. We sure could use it. It's like you've said a few times, it's almost like therapy.
It is.
It's been great to get out here and do this. You know, we had 10 straight weeks of action, a bye week, and then big win by Darlington last week, and here we are again. We'll see if we can extend this another week. Keep the party going.
And I just want to relay back to the radio station that I think we may have just bought a hotel towel, just so you know, because the one that I was sitting on just flew off the back of the stand. So sorry about that.
It was a hand towel. Maybe they won't notice.
Oh, my goodness. We'll just put that in the book, in the chapter about Prince Avenue Christian 2020, second round of the playoffs. You know, one of the things that we pointed out in the pregame, you know, right now we're watching two teams that are 2 of the last 16 teams in Class A private playing football tonight, and that in itself says a lot about what's on the field tonight in terms of talent and drive to play from week to week and get to this point.
Ball won't stay on the tee, Matt. Looks like they're going to have to hold it. That's not surprising.
Not at all. And the wind is as bad as it's been. It's about as bad right now than it's been the entire night. But Brinson Sumner is going to have some help with a hold here as he gets ready to kick from the 40. And the kickoff is on the way, and that one's headed right towards the end zone, folks.
Sumner does his job as he usually does, and that will put the Wolverines on their own 20 to start the second half.
Tigers have always taken a lot of pride in special teams and being good in all 3 phases of the football game, and certainly this year they have been exceptional in that regard. No question about it.
Here we go.
Vandergriff has them lined up in a shotgun. Owens is back there in the backfield with them. They're going to send a couple wide to the far side, a couple to the near. He takes the snap. They're going to give to Owens. He runs to the near side, picks up about 12 yards, it looked like.
Yeah, nice pickup there on the toss play. Well executed blocking out there on the perimeter by Prince Avenue. And they pick up the first down. But, Matt, we may have a penalty.
And I just got a phone call, which kind of concerns me because it is from my dad back at the studio. So I don't know if we have an issue or what might be going on there.
And we've got a hold.
So Prince Avenue Christian, 1st and 10, ball on the 9-yard line. And man goes in motion. Here comes the snap. Quarterback dropping back, looking to throw. Ball is in the air, and it is going to be caught at about the 48-yard line by a young man named Jake Pittman. And that is going to be another big play here for Prince Avenue Christian.
Yeah, and Luke McDermott was step for step with him on the coverage there. He just couldn't get his head turned around to make a play on the ball, and Vandergrift put that ball right on the money. And throwing that into the wind, that is really impressive the way he just delivered that ball.
So quarterback Vandergrift is getting ready to take the snap, and I think we've got some technical difficulties at the station, and I don't know what's going on. I don't think they have it in program. It might be the problem, because when I change the setting, I'm hearing myself instead of what's in program, so perhaps that could be the issue. I don't know. But anyway, we've got 2nd down and 9. Ball is on the 50-yard line here for Prince Avenue Christian, leading at home with 11:02 left here in this 3rd quarter. Again, 14-6 your score. Shotgun formation. Man goes in motion. That is Johnson. He's going off to the far side. Vandergrift's going to put the ball in the air. It is going to be caught
on the tip. That was just lucky.
Zach Dyer makes the grab. That'll be a 1st down.
Just lucky there. So right now things are just going the Wolverines' way as Vandergrift was trying to find his target in the flat. It bounced off his hand and straight into the hands of the other receiver.
Shotgun formation, 3 wide here to the near side. Quarterback drops back, puts the ball in the air, and he's able to connect with Zach Dyer again on this play, and that'll be a 1st down. Another big play here for Prince Avenue Christian. They're rocking and rolling.
Yeah, and that play really shows the awareness of Brock Vandergrift as they ran the toss play. He wanted to go deep there, and then pressure came, so he went to his 3rd read on the play and delivered it, an absolute strike.
So 3 wide here on the near side. They're going to send 1 far side. And ball is on the 16-yard line in the red zone, 1st and 10. There's the snap. Quarterback's going to throw one here to the near side. And that's going to be picked up again by Zach Dyer. That's been his favorite target on this drive. And they pick up a few yards on that 1st down play.
Yeah, we didn't see many targets for Dyer there in the first half, but right now that's where Vandergrift wants to go with the ball, even when he doesn't mean to.
Oh, absolutely. So it's 2nd down and 6. Ball is on the 12-yard line in the red zone. We're almost to the 10-minute mark here of this 3rd quarter. Vandergrift has got 1 man back here in the backfield with him, and that's Ethan Gardner, I believe. There's the snap. They're going to fake the handoff, going to throw it out to the flat on the right side. He picks it up. That's Johnson, makes a great grab. Looked like he made a man miss and picked up a couple extra yards.
Yeah, Tyler Watkins lost his footing, and then Johnson did the same exact thing when he tried to cut. Don't forget, it's a slick field out there, very saturated, and we've seen some problems with guys when they put their foot in the ground, just the grass giving way. 3rd and 2.
All right, 3rd and 2. Ball on the 9-yard line. Prince Avenue Christian working right to left. And they are in the red zone. Man goes in motion. And here's the snap. He rolls to the right, and it's going to be a flag.
Yeah, we're going to have a false start here. Huge penalty here on 3rd and 2.
And I got a correction on something I said earlier. I just got a message from Steve Conrad, who was told by Greg Sumner, father of Brinson Sumner, that Brinson has not committed to Mercer. I said that earlier. I thought that's what I was told. He has an offer from Mercer as along with some other schools. So correction on that. I apologize. That was what I was told earlier in the week, so I apologize for that. Shotgun formation, 2 wide set. 1 on the near side. Man went in motion, and they're going to hand the ball off to Owens. He finds some room, and he's headed right towards the end zone.
Untouched.
Touchdown, and that'll be a 14-yard run for that young man. Again, that's Landon Owens.
And they set that up. They kept passing to the perimeter over and over, getting out on the sidelines with the passing game. That time they faked the pass and then slipped it to the halfback on a delay handoff, and there was no one in front of him. Owens just waltzed right into the end zone, and Prince Avenue Christian has taken control of this game, 20-6 with the PAT pending.
8:51 left here in the third quarter of play. And now we're going to have Franklin on to attempt the extra point. Here comes the kick. It's on the way. And that one's going to go right through the uprights here towards the left side. So that is going to be a 21-6 score here with 8:51 left here in the third quarter.
So Prince Avenue Christian goes 80 yards on their opening drive of the second half. And we saw a little bit of everything on that drive as they mixed it up. We saw the skill set on display for Brock Vandergrift there as he really made some great progressions there, some good passes. He ran the ball, he threw it on the perimeter, hit a long ball. That was really the total package. And the Tigers are now down 13 points. My math is bad, 15 points, sorry.
Well, I think you get a win cold pass tonight, perhaps. 8:51 left here in the first half. Again, 21-6 is your score in favor of Prince Avenue Christian playing here again at home. And again, I'll go ahead and reiterate. I correct myself. I had said earlier that I thought that Brinson Sumner had committed to Mercer. That was not a commitment. It was just an offer. Franklin ready to kick it off from the 40-yard line. And he will put the boot on it. And that's going to be a line drive up the middle of Squibb. It'll be picked up, and Thomas Bethel's got it, and he puts his head down and gets down to close to the 40, probably 38.
And Thomas Bethel once again making the most of his opportunities, has a couple of good kick returns, had a great reception over the middle early in this ball game when Darlington was leading, in which he took a shot and held on to it. So he's made the most of his opportunities really this whole season. He's been an impressive player.
He really has been, and we're also told by the baseball coach from Darlington, Matt Larry, that he's a fine baseball player as well. They'll go to the line of scrimmage now with 1st and 10 with the ball on the 38-yard line. Darlington on their side of the field, trailing now 21-6, 8:43 left, third quarter. And there's going to be a flag that comes in right before the snap, it looked like.
Really, we've seen this on both sides. The procedure penalties have really been a bugaboo for both the Wolverines and the Tigers throughout this game. .8:41 left in the third quarter, 21-6. Prince Avenue Christian leads Darlington.
So timeout. Nope.
Well, whistles again.
Well, we'll get everything sorted out and ready to roll here in a moment. Tigers look off to the sidelines. Got a 1st and 15 coming up from the Tigers 33, working from left to right, trailing 21-6. Shelley getting ready to take the snap. He's got the ball in his hands. He's going to give to Allen, and a lot of traffic there at the line of scrimmage. He's going to go down quick.
Yeah, he may have lost a yard on that one. Just defensive front from Prince Avenue Christian got in there and stopped that before he could get going.
Tyler Watkins on for Darius Smith, who comes off the field, and the Tigers will dial up a second down and 15 here in just a moment. Going to send 3 wide off to the far side, 1 to the near side. Shelley in the gun, takes the snap, drops back. He's got company, throws the ball, and the ball is going to be incomplete.
And they tried to set up the screen there, and Davis Watson couldn't get out of the way of that one as he was trying to find Harrison Allen. And that one just blew up on him again. It's going to be 3rd and long from their own 33. And Darlington has not had a passing play. The only attempt that Shelley had that was downfield was intercepted in the first half, I believe.
So we have 8:03 left here in our third quarter of play. It shows second quarter on the scoreboard. That is
not correct.
Not correct. Fans Owen's unhappy with the refs on this side of things, getting kind of vocal about it. And the wind picks up even more here from Bogart, Georgia. So we have 3rd down and 15 coming up for the Tigers, still at their own 33, trying to put together something with this drive, and it has not gone as planned so far. Going to send 2 wide to the far side, 1 on the near. Shelley in the gun with Allen in the backfield. Shelley with the ball in his hands, puts it in the air. It's got some good air under it, and comes in, pass interference.
Love the aggressive nature of that call, because what happens? You take a shot here, you're trailing in the game, go downfield, maybe you complete it, maybe you get that PI. They got the PI, and that's going to be, we'll see. Now, I need to make sure I get this right. Not an automatic first down.
So it will depend. Right now, offensive coordinator Brent Bell talking to his team a little bit from the sidelines. We got watch them march off the penalty yards here in just a moment after that pass interference call. And the officials are about ready to do it right now. And they will march it on down to about the 40, what is that, the 47-yard line.
47.
Short of the first down by a yard. So that brings up 3rd and 1. That puts the Tigers in a much better spot.
Yeah, a lot better spot. 3rd and 16, 3rd and 1. Yeah, you'll take that. And maybe 2 down territory here.
Send a wide receiver off to the far side. One's going to be here on the near. That is Luke McDermott, I believe. And on the far side, Simpkins. And the slot on the far side is Thomas Bethel. Shelley in the gun with Allen in the backfield. They're going to fake the handoff to Allen. Quarterback's going to run, dives forward. He's going to be short.
Yeah, he is, Matt. He barely got back to the line of scrimmage. And, I mean, here you are. You're on the road, 2nd round of the playoffs. It's 4th and 1. I think you have to go for it.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
So it's 4th and 1. It looks like the Tigers will keep their offense on the field and go for it on 4th and almost 2 with the ball on the 48-yard line as they get ready to line up for this play. And as you say, they came here to give themselves an opportunity to win the football game. And the way Prince Avenue Christian has moved the ball in their last couple of drives of the game, you definitely have to make things happen when you have the football. So 4th and 2, 2 wide receivers on the far side, a couple on the near. Quarterback's going to pitch to the near side. Diving forward is Harrison Allen, and I believe he was stopped short.
He was. I like the call. Darlington has used that option play throughout the season, but they had not dialed it up tonight. So I like the call, getting the ball into Harrison Allen's hand, but the Wolverines have made some adjustments, and they are really just dominating on that line of scrimmage right now. And that sets them up. But you've got to be aggressive there. No shame in going for it. They didn't get it. But I like that they're playing to win the ball game.
I am with you on that 100%. So now the Wolverines are going to get the ball on the 47-yard line on Darlington's side of the field with 7:03 left to go here in the 3rd quarter, leading it now 21-6. The start of this second half has certainly looked a lot different than that first half. There's a quick pass up the middle. It's going to connect with Johnson, makes a man miss, stays up. He's going to be brought down after picking up, I believe, about 10 or 11 yards.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the route there was a 3-yard route, but this kid is just elusive. That's the best way to describe him. Not a big guy, but man, he can make people miss.
So Vandergriff will line them up in a shotgun formation, 2 wide near side, couple far side. They got a man in the backfield with Vandergriff. 1st and 10 from the 37. He's going to put the ball in the air, and it's overthrown over the wide receiver, Zach Dyer. He did get his hands on it, but he couldn't hang on to it.
He did, but that ball was well behind him, and it had a lot of velocity on it, so that was a tough catch to make, and he couldn't reel it in, so that sets up 2nd and 10.
So 2nd and 10 from the 37-yard line. Vandergriff with 4 wide receiver set. And in the backfield with him is number 6, Landon Owens, who's back there with him a lot. As another wind gust picks up, man goes in motion. There's the snap. Vandergriff rolls right. He's going to pitch a shovel pass that gets into the hands, I believe, of Owens, who came out of the backfield. and they pick up a few yards on that play.
Well defended there by Darlington because we haven't seen the shovel pass. Really, the shovel pass, it's kind of gone the way of the dodo, and it's a really effective play there, but well executed by Prince Avenue Christian and the Tigers on that play to be ready for that wrinkle.
Oh, indeed. It is 3rd and 5 now for the Wolverines with the ball on the Darlington 32. Now under 6 minutes to play in the third quarter. There's the snap to Vandergrift. He's going to run this football and stays up, breaks a tackle or two, and picks up the first down.
Yeah, and I mean, he went Tim Tebow on that one, man. He wasn't messing around, put his head down and looked for the contact and picked up the first down easily.
So the Wolverines have moved the chains twice on this possession. They started at the 47-yard line. Now they're down to the Darlington 26. 1st and 10. 21-6, and ran up, and that's about a 40-mile-an-hour gush right there. 3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 on the far side, as Vandergrift is set to take the snap with Owens in the backfield with him. And Vandergrift takes the snap, but there's a flag that comes in.
Man, a lot of Yankees tonight.
Oh, my goodness.
Nice grab there, Matt.
Yeah.
I heard
just saved your mind there, Dave.
Matt was a pretty good baseball player when he was a kid, but now he's fielding computer monitors. Pretty impressive stuff tonight.
My goodness. Man. I bet you'd love if you're listening to this game on the radio, all this wind picking up on these mics. And I haven't turned the crowd mic on the entire game because we want some more added to that.
Yeah, have a little more.
You want a little more wind noise back there in the listening audience? So we have 5:17 left. We got a little bit of we have a timeout here, it looks like. So 5:17 left in the third quarter. Prince Avenue Christian leading this one 21-6. They have 1st and 10 from the Darlington 26 forthcoming when we come out of the timeout. I'm sorry I didn't wrap my brain around that one quick enough to get a spot in. We'll make up for that one in just a little bit. But again, tonight after the game, it's the Rome Orthopedic Center High School football scoreboard show. Hope you enjoy that tonight. And also the Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game. Hope it is not the last one tonight, but things not going the Tigers' way here to start the second half.
1st down and 10 at the 26 for the Wolverines.
Shotgun formation, couple wide on the far side, 1 on the near. As we get ready for Vandergrift to take the snap. Owens back there in the backfield with him still. Here's the snap. They are going to fake to Owens, throw a swing pass out to the far side, connects with the wide receiver. I think that was Zach Dyer again, unless I'm badly mistaken. They come close to another 1st down, so that's going to set up a 2nd and 2.
That's that long option play essentially right there where the quarterback fakes the running back and the wide receiver just sits down in the flat.
So the ball on the 18-yard line, there's the snap. The quarterback's going to give it, and they'll go up the middle with Owens, and they're able to get the 1st down. So 3 1st downs here on this drive for the Wolverines.
Just a dive play right there, and they're actually starting to get some push between the tackles. We did not see that in the first half, and that just shows signs that they are starting to wear down this Darlington front.
So shotgun formation for 1st and 10 from the 14 in the red zone. Right, Vandergrift takes the snap, fakes, is going to put the ball in the air, throws a dart down to Johnson at the goal line. He steps in and scores. That was another big play.
Yeah, an absolute rocket from Vandergrift to Johnson. That's got to be a tough throw, a 6'4" quarterback throwing to a 5'6" wide receiver. You got to put that on the right trajectory, and he did that, threw it low. It was a bullet right in the breadbasket. Johnson looked like he had some words or at least a stare down with Patrick Shelley. That was the one necessary, but he did score.
So with 4:49 left, Prince Avenue Christian on the board again. Franklin on for the extra point attempt. And here comes the snap. The hole looks good. Kick on the way. And that one's right up the middle. That makes it 28-6 with 4:49 left to go in the third quarter.
And that drive, the first drive of the second half, Prince Avenue Christian went 80 yards. That time they got the ball in Darlington territory after Darlington attempted a 4th and a long 2 and could not convert. but they had to kind of methodically plod their way down the field on that one, but they were able to punch it in as Vandergriff throws his third touchdown of the game. Second. He was run for one. He's thrown for two.
And that is the second touchdown catch there for Mr. Logan Johnson. And we told you coming into the game that would be one of his favorite targets, if not his favorite target. And he is over the 1,000-yard mark for sure now for the season in terms of receiving yards. And again, you can't say enough about that young man and the way he is able to get out and get open and catch the ball, and also has a lot of quickness and speed. And again, the kid is 5'6". At least according to the roster we were provided by Prince Avenue Christian. And we really appreciate the hospitality here tonight. Always a lot of fun going to the different schools, and we've been treated very, very nice this year. It's been great. And that ball is going to be caught by the Tigers on the kickoff from Franklin. It'll be brought out by Harrison Allen, who's going to be dropped at around the 25-yard line.
I think that it's hard to see with the mud, but that was Tyler Watkins.
Tyler Watkins. Apologize for that.
Both those players are, you can almost not read their numbers because of all the mud on the back of them.
I took a guess because of the mud, to be honest with you. But the ball is on the 25-yard line. Darlington with it on their side of the field with 4:42 left to go in this third quarter. Trailing now 28-6, trying to climb back in this football game. They will come back from the huddle to the line of scrimmage with 1st and 10. Here to the near side is going to be Thomas Speed. You'll have a couple of wide receivers on that far side. Shotgun formation, they'll hand it to Harrison Allen, who finds a hole up the middle. Great job by the offensive line, helping him get some room to run, and that's a 9-yard run.
A nice way to start this drive for the Tigers. They would love to be able to keep that going.
So that brings up 2nd and 1 here for the Tigers with the ball just shy of the 35-yard line. Again, the drive started at the 25. So they will send a couple of wide to the far side, one on the near, working left to right. Here is the snap to Patrick Shelley, the give to Harrison Allen. Not as much room that time, but he's close to that first down. I think he got it.
He got enough for the first down, so that'll move the chains.
So the chains are moving here for the Tigers. We're almost down to the 4-minute mark of this third quarter. We'll have, again, the Rome Orthopedic Center High School football scoreboard show tonight. And that might be the last one of the year. 2 wide receivers near side, one on the far. You also have one in the slot on that far side. There's the snap. They're going to hand it off to Allen. This time the defense is all over it.
Yeah, absolutely swallowed whole on that play.
Number 56, B.J. Green, I believe, with the stop for the Wolverines.
Very big athletic guy, plays with a lot of energy.
So 2nd and 11 now for the Tigers after the loss of 1. Ball on the 36-yard line. Tigers still on their side of the field. As time keeps moving here in this third quarter, Tyler Watkins comes up off the field. Kind of came off the field a little bit slowly. Going to send a wide receiver to the far side, couple to the near. Man goes in motion. Motion man is Thomas Bethel. Shelley getting set to take the snap, and he has it in his hands, rolling to his left, puts the ball in the air, and that's going to be short, an incomplete pass. Didn't quite get it up to the wide receiver.
No, and he's rolling to his left, throwing back across his body. That's a tough throw to make with pressure coming, and he short hopped it, just couldn't get it out cleanly. And that puts Darlington in a tough position with 3rd and 11 upcoming.
So the Tigers are going to get ready for this 3rd and 11 play from the 36-yard line. 2:57 left to go now in the third quarter of play. 28-6 on the scoreboard. Wolverines over the Tigers right now as Harrison Allen comes off for this down. Darius Smith is going to be back there with Patrick Shelley for 3rd and 11. 2 wide receivers on each side stacked. And there's the snap to Shelley. He drops back, he's got company, ball's in the air, and can't quite hang on. The sure-handed Thomas Bethel can't quite wrap his arms around that one.
And there was pressure coming. Shelley had to fire quickly, and Bethel just couldn't reel that one in.
And that is going to force the Darlington Tigers to have to punt the football. Brenson Sumner on. And this is going to be 4th and 11. You're going to have one man back here for Prince Avenue Christian. You will want to avoid him, as we've learned, at all costs, Logan Johnson. Whatever you do, don't kick it near that guy. So here comes the kick from Sumner. Kick is on the way. It's a spiraling kick that's going to come down, and it's touched by Johnson. He dug towards the right, cuts up the middle, and they're able to grab him. And as you mentioned, he's pretty slippery, so Thomas Bethel came up big, stopping him from getting going.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Johnson tries to field that one over his shoulder, and he was kicked into the wind. He couldn't control it, did a nice job bringing the ball in, and then he makes 3 Tigers miss, cuts back across field, and a great tackle there by Thomas Bethel to get him to the turf before he got out into space, because once that kick gets into space, you're going to have a hard time bringing him down.
So the Wolverines have the ball with 2:31 left here in the third quarter. They're going to start at their own 25-yard line. Brock Vandergriff lines them up with running back there in the backfield with him, Owens. So he'll have 2 wide receivers on each side of the formation. And here comes the snap to Vandergriff. He's going to fake the handoff, runs it around the right side, and he is going to slide, nearly getting the first down. He may be short by a yard or 2.
Yeah, it'll be spotted where he gave himself up. But that's always tricky on those slide plays, especially when there's as much mud on the field as there is, and they keep sliding for 3 or 4 yards.
It's like a slip and slide out there.
Yeah, no doubt. So it's actually 2nd and 4.
Ball on the 31-yard line. Wolverines on their side of the field leading at 28-6 with under 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Vandergriff with well over 3,000 yards for the season, the quarterback for this football team. There's a snap. They're going to hand it off to Owens, and he runs up the sidelines, gets it across midfield to 45-40. I don't think anybody's going to catch him. He's down to the 10-5, and he's in the end zone. A big-time play. That'll be 69-yard run. A 69-yard play, I should say, by the Wolverines. And they score again. And that was Owens, correct?
It was Owens. That's his 2nd touchdown run. That should put him over 100 yards for the night. And we've seen a 21-point explosion here in the third quarter from the Prince Avenue Christian Wolverines as they turn their focus to the ground attack here. And that time, what was just a pretty standard off-tackle run went to the house. And they now lead 34-6.
And now Franklin on for the extra point attempt. It is kicked, and it is through the uprights and good. And so now the score is going to move to 35-6 in favor of Prince Avenue Christian. 1:37 left to go in the third quarter of play. So the second half is not gone according to plan, but nonetheless it's still been a great effort from the Tigers tonight. But Prince Avenue Christian is as good as advertised, as we are finding out.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it, Matt. That first half was just well executed by Darlington. They did what they needed to do. They have not been able to sustain that running game that they had in the first quarter and a half that kept the Wolverine offense off the field. And this team just makes the most of their opportunities. Weapons everywhere. We knew about Brock Vandergriff coming in, but one of the things you and I talked about is you can't have that much success if you don't have some guys to throw it to. And he's got 3 in Dyer, Owens, Johnson. These guys, they're all excellent players.
Indeed they are, man. And as we talked about going into the game, averaging close to 50 points a game. Here comes the kickoff from Franklin from the 40-yard line. That's going to be end over end, drops in to Luke McDermott, who's going to bring it out from the 10. He runs it up towards the middle of the field, and he is able to get down across the 30-yard line to maybe the 33.
Yeah, nice return there from McDermott. Sets up the Darlington offense. See where they spot this ball. Looks just shy of the 35. Out there in the muck between the hashes, boy, it is just chewed up at that section of the field.
Yes, it is. I remember my dad and a buddy of mine, we went to the Capital One Bowl one year when LSU and Penn State was playing, and it rained a ton before that game, and I've never seen a field torn up Like I saw that
Watched
field
that on
after
TV.
that football game. It was crazy. Going to send a couple of wide receivers to the far side, one to the near here for the Tigers, working from left to right. 1st and 10, ball on the 33, and Harrison Allen is going to be dropped behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3 or 4 yards.
And we've just seen a major shift in this ball game where this Wolverines defense has made some adjustments. They're just pinning their ears back and coming after them, stacking the box, coming after this running game. And if Darlington's going to pass, they're going to count on the pressure to get home for Patrick Shelley. It's working out for the Wolverines and has really slowed down this Tigers offense.
So the Tigers go back to the drawing board, man, for 2nd down and 14 from their own 29 after the loss on the last play. They're going to have 4 wide receivers. Will Bagby out on the field now here on the near side.
You can counter that pressure with spreading them out.
There's the snap and the give. They're going to give it to Darius Smith. He gets some of the yards they lost on the previous play back, but that's going to set a 3rd and long.
Patrick Shelley will be in a passing situation here. It's a good spot for one of those wide receiver screens. But we might see him take a shot to Speed or Simpkins, see if they can draw a PI or maybe complete the pass.
15 seconds and ticking here in this 3rd quarter, 35-6. Prince Avenue Christian Wolverines on top of the Darlington Tigers.
They're going to take it down, Matt, and go to the 4th quarter.
Indeed they are. So with that said, at the end of 3 quarters, 1 quarter left of football to play here tonight. Prince Avenue Christian Wolverines 35, the Darlington Tigers with 6. We're going to step out for a 1-minute break. We'll come back for the final 12 minutes after these messages. All right, we are back in Bogart, Georgia, just outside of Athens. About a 15, 20-minute drive from Athens, and we are at the home of the Prince Avenue Christian Wolverines. Darlington has the football right now, trailing 35-6 as we start the final quarter. Shelley with the ball in his hands, puts it in the air. It's going to be a complete pass on the far side. I believe it was Thomas Speed that drilled that in.
Yep, nice catch.
That'll be a 1st down.
Just a great strike there by Patrick Shelley and a good reception and a big 1st down for the Tigers.
So that's going to bring it out now to the 43-yard line. Tigers working from right to left. Again, they're in their white uniforms tonight with purple numbers and letters.
And a splash of mud.
And some of them got a heck of a lot more than a splash of mud. Some of them are totally covered in it. And I think the one that is covered in it the most is Harrison Allen, without a doubt. There's the snap. Shelley drops back. He's going to put the ball in the air, and it is going to be an incomplete pass.
Yeah, and Shelley thought about taking off and running at the last minute. He saw Thomas Speed and tried to slip it in there. Speed couldn't reel it in, and that'll put him at 2nd and 10.
So the Tigers will come back to the line of scrimmage with 2nd and 10 at the 44-yard line on their side of the field. Harrison Allen comes back onto the field, and if you can't read the number, just read the mud.
There you go.
He is completely covered from head to toe. And I have 3 wide receivers to the near side for the Tigers. Darius Smith in at that sniffer position. And Shelley takes the snap a little bit high, pulls it down, and he's going to give it to Allen, who gets a nice run. That was probably about an 7-8 yard run.
Yeah, gets him into third and manageable here.
A couple of guys tangled up over on the far side of the field. It's a 3rd down and 3 for the Tigers now with the ball at the 49-yard line on the Wolverine side of the field. Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game coming up after the game. I think we've been doing that for close to, I don't know, probably 8 or 9 seasons.
That's crazy.
We certainly appreciate them sponsoring that, and as well as all of our advertisers. We'll tell you who they are in just a moment. Our radio sponsors. Flag comes in. That'll be indeed a false start on the Tigers, but we want to thank Floyd Medical Center, Avery Drugs, Jower Scalar Insurance, Riverside Auto Group, Rome Orthopedic Center, Ware Mechanical. They've been with us all season long, and we certainly appreciate that. It makes it possible for the radio crew to be down here and provide commentary for you.
And I have not been keeping track of the penalties this evening, but there have been a lot of them. Both teams have drawn a lot of flags.
Yeah, we're usually able to keep up with a little bit more data as far as that end is, but there's just no way with all this wind and everything going on to keep a lot of notes. It's just been a different kind of setup tonight for sure. This is going to bring up 3rd and 8 here for the Tigers from the 46-yard line on their side of the field. And we're going to have McKay Rush here lined up in the slot. Here comes the snap to Shelley. Good snap. He's going to put the ball in the air. He's got some good air on it. That was a nice spiral, but not near a wide receiver. And that's going to be an incomplete pass. Thomas Speed was running down the field, but he was kind of in between a couple of defenders.
Yeah, he was sandwiched in there. He had press coverage there by the cornerback and the safety over the top. Not really a shot to fit that ball in there, so Shelley just let her fly. And the Darlington Tigers will have to punt it away with 10:04 left, trailing 35-6 in the 4th quarter.
So Brinson Sumner on here for the Tigers, and he will punt it away. And we're down to the almost 10-minute mark of this football game with Darlington trailing. Again, 35-6. There's the kick. It's going to be a nice spiral, and that's going to drop in at the 20, take a nice bounce, as it often does, and it's going to roll down to the 12.
Thomas Bethel downs it there, and that is where the Wolverines will take over on offense. Their first possession of the 4th quarter. They scored on all 3 possessions in the 3rd, racking up 21 points. And on their last possession, they looked to be transitioning into trying to just kind of grind things out on the ground, but they were able to pop a big run of about 60 yards for a touchdown. We'll see if they stick with that ground attack here.
So the Wolverines at their own 13, as you mentioned, 1st and 10. And there's a whistle to signal that we will resume playing. And Brock Vandergriff looking off to the sidelines. Play clock down to 10. They are certainly taking their time, obviously eating up as much of this clock as possible. Man goes in motion. Here comes the snap. They're going to hand it off. Running towards the near side is going to be Landon Owens, and he picks up a big chunk of yards there on that first down play. 6-yard gain, looks like.
A good pick up there on the halfback delay.
9:36 left here in the 4th quarter. Shotgun formation. Vandergriff rolls to his left, and another flag comes in.
Another procedure penalty. Real sloppy. And, you know, as Prince Avenue Christian looks to have this game in hand, they're going to need to clean that up going forward, man. A lot of mistakes for them in this football game.
Tomorrow we're going to have college football for you on the airwaves of WLAQ, starting at 5 o'clock from the IMG Learfield Crimson Tide Radio Network. The voice of the Crimson Tide, Eli Gold, will bring you the Alabama LSU game, and it doesn't quite have the flair that it normally does this year.
No, that's a game everybody circles on their calendar, whether you care for either of those teams, you want to watch it. Not this year.
Not at all. I may flip it over there to watch them take the field, but I don't know how long I'm going to leave it there. 2nd down and 9 coming up. Here's a pass from Brock Vandergriff. Good ball. That's going to be caught at around the 48-yard line. Running down the field with it and heading towards the end zone is going to be their wide receiver, number 13, and that is Chaz Scoggins. He also intercepted a pass early in the game, and that was a massive play, Ian.
Yeah, well, I thought they might go to the ground game, but I guess they wanted to pad Mr. Vandergriff's stats just a little bit more. So he threw another strike. Man, he throws a pretty deep ball.
And that was, what, an 86-yard play?
Yeah, that was a big one.
So the Prince Avenue Christian Wolverines strike again, and we'll get ready for the extra point from Franklin here in just a moment. It's 41-6, pending PAT. And Mr. Franklin is out on the field getting ready to kick right now. And the hold is good. The kick is on the way, and it is going to be through the uprights. This is a heck of a football team. There's no question about it.
It really is, Matt. And they've found a way to get their receivers open and hit these deep balls and just rack up the points here in the second half.
So 42-6 is now your score. Prince Avenue Christian on top of the Darlington Tigers, and 8:55 left, and it does look like tonight is going to be the end of the road when everything shakes out here for the Tigers. But, man, they've had a tremendous season. No
they have, Matt. I mean, just to get it in was kind of the mantra for the beginning of this year, but they played 10 consecutive weeks, finished with yet another winning season, and went on the road and got a playoff win last week. And then they just ran into a buzzsaw tonight. There's no shame in the way they played. They kept it close for a half, but it was just too much from this high-powered Wolverine offense, and their defense really started to kind of pick up the pace a little bit as well.
Indeed. So Mr. Franklin's going to tee it up at the 40 and kick it to the Darlington Tigers. Going to have a couple of men back deep. On the far side is going to be Luke McDermott. And then also you got Helen Shirey. And here comes the kick from Franklin. The wind picks up, and that's going to push it all the way into the end zone. That'll be a touchback. I think the wind might have helped that a little bit.
It definitely picked up right when his foot met the ball, so pushed that one into the end zone.
So 8:55 remaining in this contest, and Darlington will get the ball at the 20-yard line on their side of the field. On a chilly, windy night here in Bogart, Georgia. We might have mentioned that a time or two.
Maybe.
Have your, what you call these things? Hot hands, hand warmers. And they've
kept my fingers from being numb, for sure.
Oh, my goodness. Whew.
As Dave cuts to us just to show the splendor of the evening.
Thanks a lot, Dave. They're going to hand it off with Darius Smith running up the middle, pick up a few yards on that first down play.
Jack Payne on the field at quarterback. Going to get some reps here. Love to see that. Kid's got a really good arm.
He is a junior. And that's one of the things. You do have some key seniors you're going to lose at the end of this year, but you do have a young core players, offensive and defensive line, some of the skill players as well. So I think the future is bright for this Darlington football team. Of course, we pretty much say that every year, don't we?
Yeah, Tommy Atha seems to get the buy-in and the most out of his players every season.
He does. There's no question. They're going to hand it off to Darius Smith, and he picks up a few yards there on that first down play. That's going to bring up a third down, I should say, and about 4. We're down to under the 8-minute mark of this football game. I also want to take the opportunity to thank Coach Atha, Eddie Guth, the athletic director at Darlington, for allowing us to do these games. It's fun. There's a pass here to the near side. It's going to be incomplete to Tyler Watkins. We certainly don't take it for granted.
3 and out here for the Tigers. They're going to have to kick it away. 7:37 left in this ball game. Prince Avenue Christian leads 42-6. Darlington Tigers cheerleaders are putting on a show for the crowd here. And again, we mentioned this early in the game, but how about these Tiger fans, man?
They really came out in numbers tonight, and throughout the day they had to drive in the rain to get here. It was raining leading up to the game. It's been windy and cold the whole night, and they are still here supporting their Tigers. And there is a long punt that's going to come down at about the 46-yard line off the foot of Brenton Sumner, and that is going to set up the Wolverines with pretty good field position here.
Yeah, they'll take over at their own 47-yard line. And I don't know if they'll trot Brock Vandergrift back out on the field or not. Or if we will see their backup quarterback. It looks like we will.
Yep. So
No, Vandergrift's on the
He's
field.
on the field.
Okay.
So Vandergrift is going to line up with Landon Owens. It looks like they got their starter still on the field. Going to send a couple of wide receivers off to the far side, one to the near. And with that said, looks like they'd like to add some more to their total, huh? There's a snap. They're going to give it to Owens. He's going to run off towards left tackle side, breaks free, stays up, stutter steps, and he's going to get down 30. Ball comes out. There's a flag that also comes out as well, but it looks like Darlington picked up the fumble.
Yeah, you're going to have a hold, but that ball came loose, and Darlington hopped on top of it. So the Tigers catch a break there. It was a hold on the Wolverines, declined. Darlington recovers the fumble.
All right.
And they will take over on their own 31-yard line, if I'm catching that spot cross field correctly.
That has certainly been one of the challenges tonight because we're a lot lower than we normally are in terms of our vantage point. So you got some crazy angles to work with here.
And that was close, 33-yard line.
Good eye.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Those 40-year-old eyes are serving you well,
They're
man.
trying, man. Trying. I'm just trying not to think about my feet, hands, everything else out here.
Oh.
I thought I wore thick enough socks, but starting to decide that isn't the case.
Man, and we have really been fortunate in terms of the weather throughout the season.
We have.
The only time I guess we really had any rain, we were inside in the friendly confines of the press box at Chris Hunter Stadium at Jerry Sharp Field.
I'm looking at the press box across the field. Those guys look really warm.
Yeah, they look quite cozy.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah. Bet they have snacks too.
Oh, I bet they do. They probably have a buffet.
I can't say we don't have snacks though. They've stepped up and brought us some crackers and hand warmers at halftime.
And gourmet coffee machine with biscottis.
They might have some biscottis over there. True. Matt just wants a personal tiramisu though.
That's right.
That's what he's after.
That's what I'll have to have when I get back to Rome and head over to the Honeymoon Bakery.
Well, we're calling Insomnia cookies tonight. That's an Athens staple.
Oh, yeah?
It's my treat, Matt, if it has to be.
Okay, well. All right, we're coming out of the timeout now with 7:10 left to go here in this football game. 1st and 10 now for the Tigers after picking up the fumble. And they will have the offense on the field from the 32-yard line on their side of the field. Jack Payne in at quarterback, going to have a couple of wide receivers on the far side, one on the near. And here comes the snap to Payne. They're going to hand it off, run it towards the right side, and there's really nothing there. So they're going to, I think it's going to be a no gain.
Good to see some of these players getting an opportunity to play in a playoff game. I know the situation's not what Tiger fans would hope, trailing 42-6 here, but this is good experience for these kids to get out here and play in a game like this, no matter the sport.
Absolutely. Joe Marion in the backfield, by the way, with Jack Payne.
And he may not give him the ball. He'll punish somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. We've talked about how he loves contact throughout this season. He's been fun to watch. 2 wide receivers to the near side. There's the snap up. It's over his shoulder. Talking about Jack Payne, he's going to do a good job covering there, but they take a huge loss on that play.
That'll drop him back and put him in a 3rd and very long. Well, this wind just likes to remind you that it's not going anywhere.
And the temperature continues to drop.
Man, I think the people listening know we're calling.
I think they do.
Yeah.
As they sit nestled in their cozy homes with the fireplace running and watching on television.
Visions of sugar plums.
All of that. Holiday cheer. All that good stuff. 5:42 remaining in the game. 42-6. Princeton Avenue on top right now. The Tigers. 3rd down and 25 coming up for the Tigers from the 17-yard line. Payne lines him up in a gun. There's the snap. Payne is going to pull down a high snap. He's got company in the backfield. He's going to have to tuck and run, and he's going to be brought down by about 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah, pressure coming off the backside. He did a good job to recognize that, feel that pressure, made a move, but then there were just more Wolverines coming at him once he got away from the first few. And again, Darlington's going to have to trot out here and punt it away.
So Sumner back out on the field here for the Tigers as he gets ready to punt it away, and it looks like he's going to be standing right inside the goal line in the end zone to kick this one away. And back to try to return the kick is Logan Johnson.
We've seen his explosive ability.
Boy, have we.
On display tonight.
Low snap picked up by Sumner. Good recovery, gets the kickoff, and that one's going to take a roll back to around the 35-yard line. So when everything shakes out, that was a pretty good punt.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll take over at the Darlington 45 with 4:28 remaining, up 42-6. And now we'll see if the Wolverines decide to let some of their substitute players come in and get a little experience. Game is decided at this point, so kind of be surprised if they don't.
Oh, indeed. And we will certainly have a brief wrap-up show at the end of the night tonight. Are you all right with that?
I'm okay with that, man. I am.
We'll get everything packed up and get on out of here. 4:28 left, 42-6. Wolverines. Wolverines are going to have a new quarterback into the football game. That's going to be number 11, Aaron Philo. He's a freshman this year, 6'1", 175.
Yeah, big guy.
There's the snap. They're going to hand the football off, run it up the middle, and with the ball is going to be Tate Jernigan. Not a real big guy, got a low center of gravity, found some space, picked up 6 yards. So now again, Aaron Philo will get ready to line him up in a gun with a few wide receivers on the far side of the formation. With a big lead here for the Wolverines. And we're under the 4-minute mark of this football game. Rome Orthopedic Center High School Football Scoreboard Show coming up in just a little bit. There's the snap, and they are going to run it up the middle of the field with the quarterback. He's actually going to take a loss of about a yard.
Yeah, stuff there. Davis Watson back there with Tyler Watkins to make the stop. And, you know, I'd like to take a minute, Matt, just to commend these seniors for a great career at Darlington. Some of them are going to go on and play ball elsewhere. Others won't, but they really seem like a group that's enjoyed playing ball together.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more on that. Man goes in motion, and there's the snap. Philo has got the ball in his hands. He's got company in the backfield. He's going to put the ball in the air, kind of a wobbly pass that goes incomplete around the 20-yard line. His intended receiver was Josh Britt, a sophomore.
And that'll bring up a 4th and 6, and the punt team will come out for the Wolverines.
And to name some of those seniors, Leo Gabo, Harrison Allen, Tyler Watkins, Brinson Sumner, also Thomas Speed, Luke McDermott, Luke Overbay, Jackson Floyd, Luke Lewis, Burke Schremsher, Davis Watson. So a lot of guys that have contributed to this team throughout the year. We called those guys' names quite a lot. Joe Marion. Certainly going to miss calling those names next year.
Absolutely.
But we also pointed out a lot of young players that we've also called their names quite a bit throughout the season. And so even though you're losing some key guys, you also have a lot of guys that are young with experience now going into next year, and that's also a really big deal.
And you just had a timeout taken by the Wolverines there as they were trying to avoid a delay of game. But yeah, I think that's part of the success of this Darlington program, man, is that you had this leadership gets passed down. So these seniors will certainly, their legacy will be carried on by the guys that come behind them, and the sustained success at Darlington is really, really impressive.
It is. Another thing, too, I mean, you see there's a lot of former Tigers on the sidelines tonight with their former team and cheering them on, and you also have a lot of guys that end up coming back to be a part of the coaching staff as well. We've seen that a lot over the years.
And somehow Prince Avenue Christian is just struggling to get this punt off.
We have 3:03, and the Darlington fans are just saying, snap the ball. I kind of have a tendency to agree with that sentiment. I think at this point, pretty much everybody in attendance is about ready to get out of here.
Well,
as the wind picks up even more.
Tell you what, the canopy on our tent got out of here midway through the first half.
Hey, there's that towel down there. We may have to go back there and fetch that.
Yeah.
Well, this is the longest wait for a punt I think I've ever seen.
Well, pretty extended snap here.
Indeed. Standing right around, looks like from this angle, about the 5-yard line is going to be Luke McDermott, and we will see a punt here from Prince Avenue Christian after about a 10-minute wait, it felt like. And that is going up the chute and is going to go out of bounds on the Darlington sidelines.
Straight to Shanktown is what that one was.
Not to pick on that young man, but that's about the size of it.
It was a long wait.
I'm not laughing at the punt. I'm laughing at what you said. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. The ball is now on the 30-yard line. And that is where the Tigers are going to take over with 2:53 left to go in this football game. I'm getting where I can't talk. I'm so cold now.
Yeah, it's definitely starting to be a challenge here. 2:53 left. Jack Payne in the shotgun.
2 wide on the far side, one on the near. There's the snap. Payne is going to give, and they will run it towards the far side. That's Joe Marion, and he is able to stay up. Ball comes out.
Ball does come out.
And were the Tigers able to cover? That is the question.
I think Marion might have gotten back on it.
I think he did. I think you're right. He comes up with it. So Tigers maintain possession of the football now with 2:30 left to go in the game. Great first half for the Tigers. They would score the first 6 points of the game, and we're down 14-6 at halftime, but it's been all Prince Avenue Christian here in the second half, no doubt about it. 2 wide on the near side, 1 on the far side. There's the snap to Payne. Marion with the ball, and he's going to be brought down by a couple of Wolverines, led by number 3. That's Will Elrod, and now we're to the 2-minute mark.
You'd like to see, maybe Jack Payne will get a chance to turn one loose here. We can see the cannon on that kid.
He's got quite the live arm. There's no doubt about that. And his dad was the quarterback for Louisville. And I'm told by my dad, Randy Davis, that his grandfather was also an excellent football player. Talking about Ken Payne.
Yeah, runs in the family.
Indeed.
Minute and 30 left in this ball game.
Marion comes off the field. Going out is Luke Overbay. 2 wide receivers on the far side, couple on the near. Lining up in the gun is Jack Payne. There's a snap, and it looks like we will see him put it in the air, but it is batted down by the defender, number 17, Nick Hurley for Prince Avenue Christian, as we get close to the 1-minute mark of this game.
Didn't get a chance there. They're going to go for it on 4th down. No, they're going to trot out the punt team. So Brenton Sumner will get one last chance to kick as a Darlington Tiger. So see, that's a lot to wrap your head around there. This will be the last punt we see from this young man.
I know, it's crazy when you think about that. Really have enjoyed watching him mature and improve over the last couple of seasons, and Got a couple offers we mentioned to you earlier. Charleston Southern, I know, is one. Mercer. It'll be interesting to see where he ends up. And that's not going to be the end of the offers. You got to figure that's going to be inside to the 34-yard line. Another good punt.
Well, these young men at Darlington are not just prepared to succeed in athletics, but they're prepared to succeed academically. So it'll be fun to see what these guys achieve going forward, whether it's on the field of play or, their whatever career path they choose.
Well, they got a couple of Ivy League kids coming out of this group, Davis Watson and then also Harrison Allen, so that's really exciting. But again, thank you so much for following the broadcast throughout the year. We've had a tremendous amount of fun. And Darlington is going to post a 7-5 season, second-round playoff trip.
But, Matt, the time has come to hang up the gaffer's tape for a season.
I know. It's so sad. It's sad every year, but as you pointed out, in a year like we've had this year where you didn't even know if you're going to get a season, to watch it come to a close, I think that adds a little bit to it as well because it's been so much fun. And, man, going to miss it for sure. Under 40 seconds to play as now Prince Avenue Christian is in everybody's favorite formation to be in, the victory formation.
And that'll do
it. So that's the end of the football game, folks. Darlington falls on the road 42-6. That's going to end the season for the Darlington Tigers. Prince Avenue Christian goes on to the quarterfinal round coming up next Friday. But again, congratulations to the Darlington Tigers on another winning season, second round playoff run. Coach Athan and his staff did another fine job getting these kids prepared and ready for the football games and gave them the best shot to win with great game plans every single week this year. The kids fought hard every game, and you could really watch the improvement from week one of this football team as you went throughout the season. They definitely got better every single week, and as you mentioned earlier, love to play and fight for each other every single game. A lot of great team chemistry, and this has been a heck of a Darlington Tigers football season.
Yeah. It didn't end the way they wanted it to, but this team fought hard for every minute they were out on the field this season, and there's no shame in this loss whatsoever. We'll look forward to seeing what Darlington football can achieve in 2021, but a great 2020 has wrapped itself up here in Bogart, Georgia.
Yes, it has. Well, we're going to send it back to the studio. We are not done with the broadcast yet because we have one more thing left to do. We get to do it one more time, so we're going to take advantage of it. But that is the Honeymoon Bakery Icing on the Cake Player of the Game Award. We'll do that one more time. But again, Darlington final score here from Bogart, Georgia at Prince Avenue Christian. The Wolverines win it tonight 42-6, ending the Darlington Tigers season in the second round. We'll send it back to the studio and come back and wrap things up from Bogart after these messages. Well, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but we're back with you for one last time of the 2020 football season here on WLAQ and the Darlington School video stream. Darlington comes up short tonight here at Prince Avenue Christian, 42-6 your final score. The season is now over for football season, but looking forward to a little bit of round ball coming up.
Absolutely.
We're going to try to broadcast some games for you there, and we'll keep you updated on that. But we're going to go ahead and wind down our broadcast tonight from Bogart, Georgia, with one last award for the Honeymoon Bakery Icing on the Cake Player of the Game. And definitely, again, appreciate them sponsoring this segment. It's one of our favorite things about the broadcast. And Ian, of course, we've talked about how much mud has covered this young man that we're going to award tonight. Yeah. And that shows the effort that you got from him.
Yeah, absolutely. And it started on the first play of the game, a 12-yard carry up the sidelines for a first down in which he slid on his back from about the 40-yard line all the way to the bench. And he continued with that effort all night. We don't have the final stats, but I think he had to be close to 100 yards. He had a really long run that was down when Darlington was on their own goal line, got him out to about the 40-yard line, and just played with that effort that embodies the spirit of this Darlington team as a whole. So I think tonight, Harrison Allen has earned the Honeymoon Bakery Icing on the Cake Player of the Game.
And our final award of the year to boot. So anyway, congratulations to Harrison. He was also our winner last week. And again, he's one of those players that with his production, not just on the offensive side of the ball, but defensively as well. He's involved in every part of the game. I mean, he's just one of those guys that can nearly win the award every week. So a great effort from him, and congratulations to Harrison. And with that said, we're pretty much done here tonight. I wish we had a happier story, and I certainly wish that we were going to be getting ready to do this again next week, but that is not the case. Darlington comes up again on the wrong end of things tonight here from Bogart, Georgia, 42-6 your final score. But again, 7-5 season is nothing to scoff at by any stretch of the imagination. You make it to the second round. Had another extra week to prepare for a game and get out there and practice together and learn and grow and all those sorts of things. So I'm already looking forward to next season. I'll just go ahead and tell you that.
Me too, Matt. We'll be back at it before you know it.
Absolutely. So with that said, just want to take one more opportunity to thank the school, Darlington School. Tommy Yates, the head coach of Darlington, have had the opportunity to interview him every week throughout the season. It's been great getting to talk to him and learn about the team and again, just watch them grow and move forward every single week. I want to thank, obviously, Joey Johnston, the cameraman, who you can see on the screen right now if you're watching the video, David Corbin. I want to thank Lynn Butler back at the studio, who's run the controls, done a fantastic job as always super reliable for us, and we appreciate that back at the radio station. And then my dad, Randy Davis. He got me into this probably back in 2005, calling sports. When we did some baseball games, and at that point, I never knew that was something I wanted to do. So I just want to take this opportunity to thank him for encouraging me to give it a shot, because it sure is a heck of a lot of fun, isn't it?
It is, Matt. I've enjoyed the season, man. Looking forward to doing it again next year.
And last but not least, I want to thank my partner in crime here, Ian Griffin, V3 Magazine. It's always great working with you, man. It's been a fun season, and I hope that you will accept our invitation to come back next year and be a part of the
It'd be hard to turn it down. This is an all-star team here. So best class ever, class of 28 leadership room. I'm going to throw that out there.
That's right. Yeah, you got three alum of the, as you say,
I'm going to go ahead and make Joey an honorary member of the class of 28 too. You know, I mean, this is an all-star team, and yeah, Matt, I'd have a hard time saying no to doing this again next year. So looking forward to it.
It's been a tremendous amount of fun. Well, with that said, for Ian Griffin, I'm Matt Davis for WLAQ Sports and also the Darlington School video stream. We're going to send it back to the studio for the Rome Orthopedic Center High School Football Scoreboard Show. We're going to get in the car, and we're going to turn up the heat as high as possible.
It's coming.
And thaw out. But, again, thank you for being here. We're going to send it back to the studio. So long, everybody. Have a safe and healthy night. Good night.
That was tough. That was